with this, we'll get started. That's great to know, Kat. Oh, getting old. Getting old. That is for sure. Just check the mic. Input, output. Looks good. Just check audio. Yep, that's good. Excellent. I will talk about a couple of things. We will talk about a couple of things. Oh. But yeah, just checking a couple of things. I'll go over a couple of things. I do want to look at a specific leaflet video, just because it's to do with someone that's notoriously known for stalking me. So I do want to go over that specific video, and then maybe if we got more time, go over one of Monta Sensei's videos a couple of days ago, just called Manga Anime Has Become the New Mixtape. But the first thing we'll probably go over is the response from Joey to do with the drama itself, with the author and everything from the manga. Let me just check some stuff. There we go. But yeah, we'll go over the drama a little bit, not too much. Just waiting for more people to jump into chat before we start. Because if I start too early, straight away, people will keep asking. They'll be like, oh, you know, what have you covered so far? So I always like to give it at least 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes before I start the actual videos itself. But I mean, I've made a couple of videos on particular topics. Specifically, I made one video, two videos actually, going over the actual drama with the manga itself. And honestly, I think what kind of blew my mind about it is the fact that you've got people on social media trying to downplay it and being like, oh yeah, no, we didn't harass the creator for the manga. Oh no. It's just like, and then they try and blame other people. It's just like, what? But my take, because I've got one video on it that I want to go over. It's like a minute long. It's from Joey, the Anime Man's video on it, which is ironic because it's like a shorts video, but it's on his main channel, which is kind of weird because it feels like he's still trying to put anime content on his main channel, which I think is kind of ironic because I don't think he even uploads anymore on his main channel, like long form videos. To some, oh, okay, yeah, he uploaded 3 days ago, but the last one before that was 5 months ago, and then 8 months ago. So it's like Joey barely uploads on his main channel, and the only time I think he seems to upload is whenever he's got sponsors and stuff. But it does seem to be Joey still does shorts content on the main channel, which is kind of interesting in itself because it seems to be a lot of the same stuff recently. But I think I just feel like it's interesting to see. Oh no, Joey did make a video on that.
I tried watching Clannad, so ass, bro. God, I felt like such a.
I hate the way YouTube's not loading it properly. There we go. I wanted to see how old the video was before I watched it. 7 days ago. I might go over that one too. We might go over that one first and then we'll go over the other one. But I talked about this one as well. At one point, I'm just curious actually what Joey actually said. So I took about 2 weeks. I had to get some stuff sorted out. Yeah, I had to sort some stuff out. Oh, you can't hear shit? My microphone. Let me just check the audio. Because sometimes the audio likes to be fiddly. Yeah, I ended up having to go through Mixer. I'm just checking the audio. Oh, now you can. Okay, I hadn't changed anything yet, so I was confused. I wasn't, because sometimes, it picks the sound up from my other headset there. Okay, it doesn't pick it up there. So I see the little bar, and it bounces. So I sometimes check which, because sometimes these have microphones built into them. So sometimes they pick up audio and it will override over the microphone. But yeah, I suffered through Mixtape. That was horrible. I absolutely despised going through Mixtape. The story is so cringy. Like the voice acting for Mixtape is just like, it's like stereotypical, like hipster, hippie, like accents from America, like you know, whatever, like kind of thing. It's like really stereotype. That's fine. I sometimes worry because yeah, sometimes the audio messes up a little bit. But yeah, Mixtape is just, oh, it's absolute shocking. Absolutely. I generally don't see what anyone enjoys in it, because even though there's no gameplay in it itself, ignoring the fact that it has no gameplay in it, if we were to look at it from a story perspective, like let's treat it like a visual novel, which is an insult to visual novels, the story itself is just completely horrible. Like it's a self-insert cringe fest. But yeah, I wanted to see, because I saw this and I was like, okay, I want to see what Joey has to say about it. So we'll go over it and we'll see what he has to say.
Watching Clannad, so ass, bro. God, I felt like such a pedophile watching this.
I still to this day just do not understand how you can feel like that watching a normal basic romance. I mean, I said that in my video, it just, yeah.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, I'd like to report a crime. There's this anime called Clannad that I think is turning people into PDF files.
Okay, sounds serious. Can you go ahead and describe the show to me, please?
Yeah, so it's a safe-for-work romance story about a bunch of high school kids trying to explore their feelings and create lifetime bonds while struggling with trauma and the hardships of life.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, and they eventually have a kid together and learn about the hardships of parenting and growing up.
Okay. Sorry, what does this have to do with...
Oh, but most importantly, the art style is ugly, and I don't like it because it's old. So look, I really need you to send the police as soon... Hello?
Okay, that is actually kind of funny. I'll give Joey that one. That is actually kind of funny.
Hello?
It's just, oh my god, it is so stupid, the complaints of it. I was surprised actually more people didn't really call her out on it. There were a couple videos on it, a couple of tweets on it, which to be honest probably was a good thing. Yeah, the 007 game is surprisingly good. I mean, I've heard mixed reviews. Because I've watched a bunch of streamers play it, and honestly, I got bored watching it. Joey can be based when he's stopped fence sitting and stops trying to pacify the left. But it's one of those where I forgot my the James Bond game. I watched a bunch of streamers play it, and honestly, I found it difficult to watch because it was just kind of boring. Like, some of it looks fun, some of it looks boring. The story feels kind of, it's mediocre. Graphics are pretty mediocre, but the requirements for the PC is just really insanely high. So it's just like, But yeah, we'll go over this one next. This one was from Joey. This is to do with the drama with the manga itself.
Has bullied their creator Kei Urana beyond the point of no return.
Kei Urana, the creator of Gachiakura, has made a statement regarding the racism allegations centered around the character Jabber.
This whole Kei Urana thing leaving Twitter got really weird really fast.
By the way, this is the same guy that says that you are a PDF file if you buy specific figures, which are, by the way, harmless. So I don't listen to anything that this dude says because he constantly loves to label everyone as PDF files because of things that he doesn't like. He is a full-on tourist and a grifter.
I wonder why there aren't more black anime. I wonder why there aren't anime that have more trans people in.
And I find it funny because people like him, he'll complain about stuff like this.
This whole Kei...
He'll complain about stuff like this, but he literally fosters that community. He is part of the problem, right? He builds this community that constantly attacks and creates these issues. And I know it's him because his voice is exactly the same one as the Demon Slayer one. So unless there are two people that sound identically the same as him, I'm pretty sure he's the one that made the Demon Slayer video where he was calling PDF files to people. So yeah. Hey, Spiritual, completely unrelated question. Can you dwell a bit on why you think global warming, in your opinion, is mostly a scam? I'm generally curious how you got to that conclusion. You're asking a very heavy-hitting question right off the stream. The thing is that I look at global warming as something that can be true, but can still be a scam. And what I mean by that is, you know what, I'll deal with the cat first, and then I'll answer the question. I swear to Jesus Christ, cat. Get a job. Okay, let me explain to you why global warming is a scam. You're asking complicated questions very quickly. Also, I need to fix my stream lights. There we go. So, here's the thing about it. Let me just put chat 2 live. I look at I look at global warming as two things, right? One, do I believe there is such a thing as global warming? And I ask myself the question of, does it really matter if global warming exists? And I know that sounds like a weird question to ask, but I look at things in a very first principles of, okay, so if I generally care about the environment, so I don't believe we should pollute our waters, I don't believe we should be polluting our oceans, or rivers, oceans, airways, ground, etc., right? I don't believe that we should be polluting in general, right? So to me, when I look at global warming from that perspective, I instantly go, okay, it doesn't matter if global warming exists or not. Generally speaking, we should be taking care of the environment, right? But it goes down to the kind of the way that you go about it, right? There's got to be cost versus rewards. That's why I look at things like, for example, solar and battery technology, I think are a net positive when it comes to, for example, the Australian grid. But when I look at wind, I think wind is mostly inefficient scam technology. And what I mean by scam technology is that a lot of it comes down to government subsidizing companies and kind of backing them into a corner to pay for solar. So it's basically the only reason why solar is viable for most corporations to build is because it's heavily subsidized by corporations. So by in doing so, the only reason why it's economically viable is because the taxpayers are the ones that are forking out the actual genuine cost when it comes to wind technology, right? So I look at the technologies and I look at the straight basics of, is it economically viable? What is the cost versus reward, right? So I think wind technology is just a technology that right now doesn't have the potential to really be used on a proper economic scale. I look at solar, I look at batteries, and I look at what they are now, and I look at the potential of where it can go. And I sit there and I think to myself, okay, solar and battery technology have a lot of good practical uses. Battery technology has been around since the Bronze Age. If you didn't know that, surprise, surprise, I'm giving you a history lesson, right? Battery technology has been around since the Bronze Age. So then you're asking yourself the question, well, why is battery technology now becoming so good? Because we haven't been using battery technology except for like acid batteries for cars, and that was mainly it, and your general consoles and home remotes, right? But now we're using battery technology in things like grid scales, we're using them for businesses, we're using them for electric cars, we're using them for home systems. So there's a lot more economic viability for it, which increases the desire for innovation and technology improvements in battery technology. As battery technology continuously gets improved and the cost of scales goes down, there is so much more potential there than there is in wind, right? Wind turbines, there's just not much improvements there, and there doesn't look like there's much there. Battery technology has a lot of room for improvement. Solar technology, there is massive improvements already still being worked on, and solar panels is very easily recyclable. It's just there's a reason why companies don't recycle them, and that's because there's a black market for it. But that is something that could easily be fixed with good policies and good incentive structures. So I look at the different technologies and I ask myself the question of what is good and what is bad. But at the end of the day, I ask myself also the question of, does it matter if global warming is real or not? And the answer is no, right? It doesn't matter if global warming is real or not, because we should be prioritizing making sure we don't pollute our waterways. We're not India, right? We don't need to dump all our rubbish in the water, oceans, or ground pollution. So in general, we should be taking care of the environment that we live in general, right? Now, naturally, of course, most people drive around in ICE vehicles, which is combustion engines, right? Now, in a perfect world, it'd be great if everyone could afford an electric car that is good for the environment. But costs versus rewards, it's not that easy. It's still a very expensive piece of hardware. So you've got to look at things like, again, technological improvements, etc., etc. And let's be completely honest here. Let's stick to facts. Pumping oil, turning it into a gas, right, or putting it out of an exhaust is the better way to put it, is not healthy, right? Pumping all those fumes into the air from ICE vehicles is just generally not good for the environment. But at the same time, we need to make sure that ICE vehicles are cost viable. For most people, they can afford it, but there's still cost versus rewards. And yeah, EV cars, right, they're getting better, right? They're getting cheaper, they're getting better. Right now, they're worth purchasing, but there's still room for improvement. So you've got to look at those factors. So overall, EVs, in my opinion, are a net positive. My only issue when it comes to EVs is as we electrify everything, it feels like we have less control over our own appliances and our own devices, and it feels like the devices are more controlling us. And EVs aren't the only thing with that. Is you look at refrigerators, right? Smart fridges. They play bloody ads and stuff. Car batteries suck. Hybrids are much better. No, that's just factually incorrect, actually. Hybrids are highly more expensive for maintenance. EVs suck if you're buying them from cheap manufacturers. So if you're buying an EV car from a cheap Chinese maker, then yes, they will suck. But if you generally buy them from a company that generally most over here either buy them from Tesla or BYD, which BYD do make some good electric cars. And Tesla, of course, makes the best in the market, in my humble opinion. But if you buy them from cheap manufacturers, right, some shitty car makers out there, then yeah, you're going to be paying through the roof for a pile of rubbish. But overall, battery cars, they don't suck. Hybrids are highly inefficient. They're extremely heavy in weight. They generally cost more long term, and especially with the fact that because there's more parts in a hybrid car, there is more repairs required, and it's just inefficient in general. Because if you're going with a hybrid, you've still got a battery and you've still got an oil system, and because of all that additional weight, it's just costing more to cart that load. This is why battery technology has room for improvement as we increase the battery density, which is around on average about 3 to 5% every year. I know my facts on this because I do my research on this. Generally speaking, EV cars are going to get better. But again, you need to go to actual good car makers, and those are pretty much like BYD and Tesla. Those are your only two real good options. So EVs are generally a net positive. Factually incorrect, the Toyota hybrid is far superior. If that helps you sleep at night, I have a feeling you bought that and you feel bad about your purchase. I've seen people buy hybrids, they regret them pretty soon after. And to be honest, Toyota's gone down the hill for quite a while. But if you want to think they're better, that's your right to believe that. But I've seen the numbers. I've seen the numbers as far as cost versus reward goes, as far as maintenance goes, as far as all those kind of things go. And yeah, no, hybrids are just inferior across the board as far as things go. It sounds great when you first purchase them, because generally what they do is with hybrids, they do the same thing where they do with ICE vehicles, right? ICE vehicles are extremely cheap to purchase. But did you know most car makers actually lose money on selling ICE vehicles? And you'd be saying, well, why would that be the case? Because the maintenance makes them more money than the actual purchasing of the car. Like, the car is generally a net negative for the purchase. They sell it to you for cheaper so that they can get you to then have to pay for repairs when it breaks down. The more parts in a vehicle, the more likely it's going to break down or have problems with it, the more likely you're going to have to pay for repairs, which ends up being more expensive. What are your thoughts on electric scooters? I think they're alright. I like electric scooters, except for when people dump them in rivers. That's when I have a problem. So the reason why hybrids run into the same problem is because hybrids have more parts in them. They're heavy and they have more parts. So they're more likely to break down, which ends up costing the person. At the start, they're great, right? They're great because it's like, oh, they're cheaper and you've got this multi-purpose kind of thing to it. But then very quickly, once you go through the long term of it, they end up becoming more expensive because there's more maintenance involved. So it ends up feeling like a good short-term benefit. Long-term wise, it ends up costing more, and a lot of people end up selling their hybrids to try and move to either going back to an ICE vehicle or going straight to a full EV. At the end of the day, if you're going to go a hybrid, you might as well either go full EV or just stick to ICE. Thank you for the I don't know what the hell that is. A goat trophy. I've never seen that before. It's a gifted thing. I don't know what it does. I thank you for that. I don't know what the trophy does. Oh, it's 1,000 jewels. See, I didn't even know what that was there. That's how dumb I am. Thank you for the 1,000 jewels. I did not know. I was looking at the icon. It's like, here's a trophy. And I'm like, huh? There is a hybrid in my household, which is great for what it is. But I'm waiting for the full 4WD version that has enough power to tow like a diesel. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people right now, they're going to diesel vehicles if they're going from ICE to diesel because of the very fact that diesel just seems to be overall better as far as fuel goes. But I find most people either go full electric or they stick to just like a diesel-based vehicle. Hybrids, I've heard people buy them, they love them at the start, and then all the maintenance costs come in, and then people like flip a table and they're going, whoop, they end up trading them in. But I've also read all the paperworks and all the documentations as far as like surveys go of long-term maintenance, and most of it seems much more expensive. So, but it also depends on what EV brand you get. Like I said, if you get like a BYD, generally I've heard good things about those, though because they're made in China and they're the companies by CCP, some people are a bit more skeptical. And then you got Teslas. But Teslas, again, Riv EVs, they are more expensive, right? They aren't cheap. And as far as getting the cost down, it's going to still take a while before battery technology is at a viable point of being much more cheap enough that any average person can get it. But yeah. Now, I was on the topic of global warming. I went way off topic. So when it goes to global warming, I look at that, right? Overall, we should be improving the environment. We should be keeping the environment in good sustainability. But I don't believe it should come at the cost of sacrificing everything. And I look at like Germany, I look at Europe, right? They end up letting elderly people freeze to death because, oh no, we need to protect the environment. And then you look at things like how they're bulldozing nuclear power plants in Europe so that they can then build coal plants. And it's like, okay, well, that's just stupid, right? That's just not productive. But you've also got the situation of, for example, for here in Australia, right? We blow down a coal plant, but then we end up selling the coal to another country. So it's kind of silly how we go about it. But I don't think really Australia should be using coal for ourselves. Anyway, we have the ability to absolutely thrive when it comes to like hydro, solar, batteries, and other things like that. I know there's discussion about nuclear over here. It requires some more conversations. But the last part to the piece of the puzzle when it comes to global warming for me, and the reason why, because again, I'm going through all the basics of the first principles of looking at it from, does global warming matter? Now, the part where I come to in believing that it's a scam is this. Governments constantly are implementing new tax systems, they're implementing new restrictions, they're trying to use it as a scapegoat to basically say, hey, you need to sacrifice more to save the environment. But here's the problem. If global warming is going to flood large parts of the world within 5, 10, 15, 20, let's say 50 years time, right? Or even 40 years, right? How would you be able to get a loan or even an investment in building condominiums, big, massive, multi-story complexes, massive skyscrapers right on the shorelines of cities that are going to become flood zones if global warming is real, right? Explain that to me. If global warming is real, then why are banks giving 40-year loans to corporations to build massive complexes in what would be classified as a flooding area? No bank would do that. No bank would give money with a long-term payout if they knew that the global warming was real and that it was going to flood that area. They wouldn't risk it. There'd be no risk involved. They just wouldn't do it. Banks might be many things. They're greedy. They want money. And if they find out that, oh, that area that we're loaning to could end up going flood and the business goes bust and we lose that money, yeah, they're not going to loan the money. Why would they do that? On top of that, what about all these celebrities that go, oh, global warming is so serious, and their houses are in flood zones? Politicians, exactly the same. And yet they go on all these fancy trips. If global warming was so serious and so dangerous as what they claimed, they would actually put proper investments into solving global warming. And trust me, there is 101 ways to solve what they would classify as global warming when it comes to waste and inefficiency. But they don't. There is genuine good policies they could implement. They don't. You know why? Because they know it's not real. Governments know it's not real. Banks know it's not real. Investors know it's not real. So none of them give a flying fuck about it. Why would a bank and investors, private investors, big corporations invest in areas of development in an exact area that would be flooding in 10, 20 years? Well, apparently it's already meant to be flooded, but it hasn't. Money goes where they know they're going to get a return on it. So why would they invest in an area that would, again, I'm repeating myself, why would it flood there? Banks are many things. Greedy is one of them. So they wouldn't be stupid with their money. So that's why I see global warming as a scam, because once you realize how money functions, you realize that if global warming was real, the money would just shift direction and not go into areas that would be classified as dangerous. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't believe in some of the renewable technology out there, because I do believe solar and battery technology are net positives. There is a multitude of reasons why solar and battery technology is generally a net positive for a grid. And I use the example of peaker plants. Peaker plants are extremely inefficient. They're extremely wasteful, and they do pollute the airway, right? They put a lot of toxins and gases in the into the air itself. So with battery technology, you can use battery technology to remove the need for peaker plants, which actually saves money. Am I ready for our fight? Dude, I'm sore from Tuesday. I'm sore. I got punched in the gut. It was actually not the gut. I got punched in the rib. If global warming is real, 2012 movie would have happened a long time ago. Based on every single claim and prediction, global warming should have already happened already. It should have happened already. And if global warming was so serious, then why do we keep importing third worlders into every country? It's just kind of funny because global warming kind of went out the window very quickly with these governments, and they've kind of just ignored it now for the new thing of immigration. I mean, again, global warming might be real, but I mean, I look at it as maybe global warming is real, but it's so far down the line that the governments are just using it as an exploitation. You hate windmills, well, if I'm correct. Yeah, I don't. It's not that I hate them. I see them as inefficient, right? It's not that I hate wind farms. I see them as inefficient. That's really as far as it goes. If wind farms were worth the money and the economies of scale, then I'd be like, okay, cool, do it. But they're not worth the money. How's the temperature in Australia? I mean, the temperature in Australia is the same every year. It's so funny because the mainstream media is like, oh my god, 30th has hit its hottest year yet. And I'm sitting there going, it feels exactly the same as every year. The winter's cold and the summer's hot. What is it meant to feel different? It's the same hot weather. It's like, okay, am I meant to feel anything different? So that's why I think global warming is a scam, because I think it's used as nothing more than an exploitation for how's your ancestry test going? I've got about 3 or 4. I think it's the 13th of next month. The results are meant to come in. So about 3 weeks. But yeah, at the end of the day, global warming might be real, but I look at it as two things. Does it matter? No, because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be polluting the environment anyway. We shouldn't be polluting our waterways. We shouldn't be polluting our airs. And as far as economics go, well, all these businesses are just putting money where they would classify as risk. So I look at global warming and I go, yeah, no, it's probably mostly bogus. That doesn't mean we should be polluting our airways deliberately, right? So I don't like a lot of Americans that are like, yeah, we should be polluting more of our airway and water because global warming isn't real. It's like, hey, how about we just don't make our water toxic, all right? How about that? That'd be a great place to start with. But it doesn't mean that I believe in all the bogus, tax policies and limitations and making 15-minute zones for everyone because of it. I think you can say, does it affect people? I mean, global warming hasn't really affected anyone, in my opinion. I mean, people say storms are more heavier. You know what? I'm going to argue that the government controls the weather. You know what? I'm going to do an Alex Jones. The government controls the weather. as far as temperature goes, I've never seen it really change. I've never really seen it getting hotter. I've never seen it really getting colder. I haven't really seen the temperatures change. I think the problem is people want global warming to happen because they want some massive global event to happen to make it worth this whole idea that they can abandon their previous lives and be like, yeah, the world's going to end, so it doesn't matter if I don't try anymore. I think people want disasters and travesties to happen because their life has so little meaning that they want a reason to destroy everything else. I hate to break it to you, in 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years, I don't think anything's going to really change other than governments are going to become more corrupted and we're going to have more horrible people importing over into our countries trying to do stupid shit. So, back on this topic though, we'll start from the beginning.
The Gachiakuta fandom has bullied their creator Kei Urana beyond the point of no return.
Kei Urana, the creator of Gachiakuta, has made a statement regarding the racism allegations centered around the character Jabber.
This whole Kei Urana thing leaving Twitter got really weird really fast.
I wonder why there aren't more black anime. I wonder why there aren't anime that have more trans people in it. Because you freaking ruin everything!
If you're expecting some kind of response or opinion from me about this particular situation, then I'm sorry to say this, but that's not fucking happening, okay? Even the dumbest antelope knows not to approach the waterhole that's infested with crocodiles. I am going to just let the internet take care of this one, because I truly don't have time for this.
Except for the fact, Joey, that you just made a video on it, and that you already just gave your opinion. And by putting a bunch of clips of other people's opinions, and then you sitting there perceiving to say, well, this is like as basic as an antelope, you've already stated your opinion. You've already gave a stance. You can't sit there and say, I don't have time for this, and proceed to make a video on it. You know what you do when you say you don't have a time for this? You don't have time for it. Thus, you don't do anything about it. Joey, you just gave a stance on it. Stop fence sitting because you're such a baby and such a pussy that you don't want to call these people out for being toxic douchebags. I get that you fostered this community. I get that you sold yourself out so that you could build this community. But it's about time that you grew a pair of balls between your legs and actually called them out for what they are. They're never going to like you, Joey. They're never going to accept you for who you are. Stop trying to fence sit. I get that your friends are all on the psychotic left and that you're friends with people like Hassan Piker, who, by the way, might be going to jail. So maybe you should consider your allegiances a little bit better because you're potentially going to be friends with criminals in jail. So congratulations, Joey. Give a round of applause for the guy that's, invited a guy that might be put in jail for supporting domestic terrorism. You had them on your podcast for anime stuff. Grow a pair, Joey, and stop being a baby.
If you want to enjoy the manga, then just go for it. If you don't want to enjoy the manga, that's your fucking problem. But I'm not going to participate in...
Which is also funny, Joey, because you and Connor have shamed people for liking things that you don't like. A little bit ironic.
This. Because the moment I do, everyone loses. Nobody wins in this situation.
No, the reality is, Joey, is that you're trying to pacify both sides. And you know that you're going to upset your woke little leftist fan base because you're too scared to call them out for being toxic douchebags. That's why it's a lose-lose for you, Joey, because you want to sit on the fence and you want to play both sides to try and pacify your weird, creepy, parasocial fan base that has you by the testicles. Again, grow a pair. You're meant to be engaged or married. I don't know which one anymore and don't really care too much to look into that. But, Joey, maybe it's about time you actually stood on your own 2 feet rather than being a spineless coward. I guess maybe that's what Aki likes in you, is the spineless part of it. But you keep sitting on the fence. It's so disingenuous because you sold yourself out for corporate interests. Just say it. What these people did were wrong. You shouldn't be harassing and attacking an author. It's that simple, Joey. I know. It's so scary, Joey, to call out bad actors. Oh no. I'm too scared to call out the people harassing and bullying people on the internet and stalking them. Cause I don't want to upset my fan base. You're a coward, Joey. This is why this is why people get away with it, or this is why people continue doing it. Because your community has helped foster this. You helped foster this. I'm just generally, this is where I try to give Joey the benefit of the doubt and think that maybe he's changed and going back to his old ways where he's actually starting to call this rubbish out. And instead he just backpedals and goes, oh nope, need to fence it because I can't call out my own audience that are doing this. No, because you're a coward. All you care about is numbers. That's all you care about, Joey. You're a sellout. Just like Connor, just like Giga. You're all sellouts. Still remember your face on your trash taste video when you said, I watched you change, Joey. You looked like a disappointed dad. I generally am, because I've watched Joey since he was below 50k subs. Look at how many subs he has now. I used to watch him when he was below 50k. Most of the people that I know in the anime community in real life used to watch him when he was below 50k. But now he's changed. And every single one of my friends in real life that's watched him have all said the same thing. He changed. He stopped being genuine. He started being fake. He started being soulless. Because he tried to appease to a group of parasites that don't like anime, that don't like him, but latched onto him, using him as nothing more than a puppet to attack and destroy anime from within. And because he's such a soulless corporate shill, he doesn't have the balls to call them out. All he does is tries and plays it safe. I mean, he's apologized for things that he should have never apologized for. There are things that people have accused him of that he sat there and apologized for. And I'm like, why'd you apologize? You did nothing wrong. Because he's so scared of upsetting this creepy leftist psychopathic part of the community. And maybe things wouldn't have gotten so bad if people like him actually grew a spine years ago, or didn't lose his spine, and actually called it out. But because all Joey cared about was numbers, which was why he kept ditching all his old friends groups. And here's the thing, I haven't said this publicly, but I know people that know his friends in real life. The ones that he has in Australia. So I don't say things blindly without knowing things. His actions are obvious. He's just soulless. He's too scared. He's fence sitting. And the funniest thing is that the people on the left still attack him, and yet he tries to pacify them. Because again, he's completely controlled by them.
So maybe we should all learn from Kei Urana and get the fuck off Twitter and go touch some grass.
And you know what's funny, Joey? And you know this, because if you've gone through those clips, you know this already. They're stalking her Instagram. So telling her to get off Twitter, or just get off Twitter, when you know that they're stalking her Instagram, doesn't change anything, Joey. It doesn't change anything. I understand, Joey, you hate Twitter because it's not a leftist cesspit of a shithole. Because you're a leftist, psychopathic hypocrite. I get it, Joey. That's why you hate Twitter. Because it doesn't feed into your little shitty echo chamber. But you're now trying to pacify the right and pacify actual anime fans with your slow shift on your second channel. Which is why you did this video on the main channel, but you do your more base takes on the other channel. What a coincidence, Joey. But the reality is that you tried to go to Freds when Freds was first made to try and stick it to Twitter, and then you came running back. The reason why you don't like Twitter, Joey, is because you can't control the narrative. You don't like being called out for being the disingenuous hack that you are. It's the same reason why you crashed out in your own little Trash Taste podcast with Joey and Connor when I exposed Connor for being a massive fucking hypocrite, and you exposed yourself for the exact same on that podcast. You didn't name me, but you sure as hell were quoting my tweet. Because Connor loves attacking things that are popular just because it's the popular thing to hate on. And you called out your own community for doing the same thing. And when I used your words, your phrasing on exactly the same thing that Connor was doing, you got upset. Joey, Connor, Giga, all three of you got upset at it. Because it's rules for thee, but not for me when it comes to how you behave, Joey. You believe that you're above criticism. You believe that you're immune to all forms of criticism because you believe you're better. That is, and you can say, I'm wrong, Joey, but actions speak louder than words. And I'm just generally disappointed in you, Joey, because you used to be a good voice for the anime community until you sold yourself out for that little cheddar. Which is ironic, because aren't you all meant to be friends with Hassan Piker, who hates capitalism? Now you're realizing you don't quite have the voice that you used to have in the anime community, that a lot of people are willing to call you out. And I get it. Chibi's never going to have the balls to call you out because you used to be friends. Don't know if you still are, but I don't really care to ask Chibi that, to be honest. But the reality is, you don't have the power in the anime community as you used to. And there are people like me that are willing to call you out on your bullshit.
Okay, so I'm just so sick and tired of this shit.
Yeah, and you helped make the problem, Joey. You helped make the problem. So sit the fuck down and be quiet. Okay? If you're not going to say anything useful, then don't make the video. Oh, I'm not going to waste my time on it. Then you wasted everyone else's time, including your own.
I truly am. But I hope you all have a good day regardless.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah. Such a I'm gonna not say anything. It's a pointless video where you're trying to pretend that you care, but at the same time play the whole I don't actually care. Again, this is the problem with you, Joey. You're a virtual signaling hypocrite. And this is why more of the anime community calls you out on your bullshit. You don't have the powers you used to, and the only audience that you really have is that weird parasocial group of leftists. But even they're turning on you, because you're not left enough for them. That's the problem when you sit on the fence, Joey. You kind of get exposed for the hypocrisy. Just disappointed. I think Joey would become if ignored all the I just think Joey just needs to grow a spine and stop fence sitting. But he won't. Because he's trying to pacify two different groups. And it's hard to generally know what he believes anymore. Because he keeps flip-flopping.
But this new anime push from every single influencer, it's like, just drop the YouTube anime show already.
And now Speed, Megan, all getting their own cartoon that is being labeled an anime.
Ah, I knew it!
Manga are the new mixtapes as well as anime. What do I mean by that? Is that you have people trying to create their own comic or story that's anime-esque or inspired that have no business or creative talent in doing so. But due to the massive popularity in Japanese media in recent years, for them it's only a means and a tool to forward their own brand extension. This goes for influencers, content creators, live streamers, celebrities, etc., seeing it as the new thing or trend to hop on, and all they see with this is opportunity.
I love anime, I'm addicted to anime.
Or maybe you had those who do enjoy some shows that are anime, that are celebrities, live streamers, influencers, and think, oh, I'll create my own now because wouldn't it just be cool to do so? I have the money, I have the popularity, why not? And to me, this just cheapens the craft and seriousness that it should be taken with. For instance, the reason why I say manga and anime are the new mixtape is that I remember growing up in an era where everyone wanted to be a rapper, especially in my city, to the point it almost became a meme before memes became internet popular. Everyone swore they had the best bars, making their own mixtapes of their own.
It is true, because now everyone wants to be a YouTuber, and that's honest, or a streamer. And now every woman wants to be a VTuber so they can build a parasocial relationship while they run a Fansly account. What a time to be alive. Oh god, I have so many hot takes about that lately.
own recorded music, trying to pass them out like free samples in the Sam's Club, but instead they were always trying to sell you to buy their mixtape, hounding you outside of gas stations, retail stores, just walking you down.
I would have hated to be in America at that time. Never had that problem over here. Thank God. That's one thing that Australia has above Americans. We don't have to deal with the mixtape thing, right? That mixtape, not this mixtape. We created a monster.
On the block of any street.
Damn, man. Let me see what's wrong with this damn car.
Hey, fam,
Man,
you wanna buy a CD?
man, hell no, man.
Here go your CDs.
Damn, more CDs. So I just bought some last week.
Yeah, I told you was gonna be buying them every day here.
To where it became tiresome, exhausting.
That's the funny thing is they make like songs like it's like content creation. They're gonna make one every year, or not every year, every week to sell them. Welcome to 2026. Welcome to 2020. That's kind of funny because you're a VTuber, Tony. So it's like me talking about VTubers. Everyone wants to be a content. I mean, I've been a content creator for like 8-9 years, so I wasn't really jumping on a trend. It was more that I just kind of wanted to do something. But I feel like one of the biggest problems with like the whole trend chase of content creation is everyone wants to be a content creator, but no one knows what content they really want to make. And I think that's the first problem, is that if you don't know what you want to make, then you shouldn't bother being a content creator. And I see a lot of female VTubers do it all the time. There's some that I know that I talk to, and they don't even know what content they really want to do because they don't really get the views. And it's like, either work out what you want to do and work out how you're going to make that grow, or just quit and stop wasting your own time. Do something more productive. And a lot of them use the excuse, oh, but I just want to network. And it's like, yeah, no, you want to network because you hope it grows you. Like, it's fine to network to make friends, and I think that's a great thing, but I feel like a lot of them use it as a coping mechanism. Everyone wants to create something but don't know how to create it. Exactly. They just don't know how to create it. Or when they start creating, it's just not as good. Because here's the thing. I look at content creation in a very simple way. Is that I look at what do I want to create as a content creator. And then I look at the competition and I say, okay, I want to do this. What is everyone else doing, and how can I either add something unique of equal quality or better? It has to be equal or better, and it has to have my own unique flair in it. And so when you look at a lot of the content that I've been making on this channel with the videos, I've been trying to keep things simple, efficient, but adding my own self to it. Because I think a lot of the problems is that a lot of content creators, when they talk about topics that I talk about, which is very drama focused, right? Let's be all honest. I'm talking about a lot of drama stuff here. A lot of them will try and play the neutral card. I just give my opinion, right? Whether you love me or not, I'm going to give my opinion. And you can disagree with me. Like, look at the hybrid vehicle stuff. At the end of the day, he's free to disagree with me. I don't agree with him, but he's free to disagree with me. As long as he's civil about it, we all get along. And that's perfectly fine. But you've got to, I try to bring a more authentic version of myself to the table. It can feel a little bit abrasive, but I try to bring an honest layer to myself where I'm just saying my opinion. I'm being raw, I'm being blunt. And I add the door intro as a bit of an inspiration to Max Mofo, if people know who that is. But also just a bit of flair and fun for myself to just add something to the videos. I try to add something unique while also keeping some of the fundamentals there. And that's the thing you've got to do as a content creator. You've got to ask yourself, what do you want to make? How are you going to make it? And you've got to keep it at either equal or better quality than others. The only downside is that to be able to sometimes do better than others is people are going to rage bait. And so it ends up being a race to the bottom when it comes to rage bait and clickbait, which is why I think one of the complaints I've seen a lot of people throw at, say, like Chibi Reviews, is they feel like he clickbaits and rage baits too hard. I try to make sure I never make a title that is a lie. That doesn't mean that I may not make a mistake as far as sometimes titles go, maybe miss the mark, and I've done that a couple of times, right? I've made a couple of titles where I feel like it just missed the mark, where I thought it sounded good on paper, but it didn't work in execution. But when you lie in a title, or you really try and like deceive people, that's a line I think too many content creators are pushing down now. And I think that's why some content creators are getting a lot more backlash, right? But also another thing too is that you need to be true to yourself, true to your own values, and explain things in a way that feels authentic and honest. Because when I look at someone like Rev Sedesu, I think one of the reasons why people feel so disappointed and they feel like there's a void in their heart is because Rev used to be seen as a defender of anime and calling out censorship and all the rest, but now Rev has become the enemy. He's become the enemy of the anime community because he's just, all he cares about is jumping on the DEI woke Hassan crap. Which is going to be hilarious if Hassan does finally get put in jail. What's Rev going to milk? And that doesn't mean Rev milks like a video every day. Oh no, I'm not saying that. But Rev absolutely does milk the Hassan stuff. So I think when you look at content creators like that, people want someone authentic. But if they've suddenly pivoted their entire opinion and have now become a hostile entity to their own community and what they built and fostered, people feel betrayed. So they need to find someone that is authentic, that believes in their values. Which is why I think a lot of people do like me as a content creator, whether, you know, you have me for my faults or not. You need to be true to who yourself. He also suspiciously ignored the scat. Yeah, he did. I've heard claims in DMs why he skipped it. I don't believe the claims. I do not believe the claims. Rev is going to run out of content when Hassan gets arrested. He probably will. Because he's not going to ever go back to what he used to do. Because his religion goes against that. His religion completely goes against what his values used to be. He used to be a gooner. Now he's against gooning. But he pretends he never was. And people have got screenshots of all his gooning stuff that he used to do way back with him and his wife. That's why his wife blocked me. Because, and that's why he unfollowed me, is because they're both pissed scared that their past will get thrown back in their face and they have to explain it. Because they can only lie so much. So when you look at content creators like this, people want authentic content creators, right? Rage content doesn't last long. No, it doesn't, right? Rage bait content doesn't last forever. And being disingenuous is another problem as well. It only lasts for so long. And I try to balance everything. It doesn't mean that I balance it perfectly, right? Because I definitely do think sometimes I miss the mark. And I know I do a lot of very drama-focused topics on this channel. But as I've always said, if you don't want the drama, you've got the other channel. I do need to work on some anime reviews for the other channel. And that's something that I've been preparing. Funny enough, when I went for those scans, I talked about on Twitter. I did say I went and got mangas. I did get the mangas. It's funny enough. Ripping my headset there. Funny enough, when I got the mangas, I got all the free run mangas except volume 1 because I already had volume 1. So I got them all in here, and it's funny and cute because when I got them all, he put them all in separate bags. So there are 3 of these bags inside this bag that he sealed for me. So they're all nice and sealed. So at some point, I want to read the free run mangas, and I want to make a video on the free run manga itself, and talk about the story as a whole. Yeah, I went to Shin Tokyo last week because I had scans. I wanted to get them. I've been wanting to get them for a while. So at some point, I'm going to read those. I'm going to fast track those. I'm going to read those mangas, and I'm going to do a video on Free Ren because I actually love Free Ren. It's a great series, and I've got a figure that I want to unbox at some point too, so... Oh, but yeah. And now, of course, I'll be at a convention this Saturday, so I'll be probably wasting more money. Could never get into Rev. I watched some of Rev's content to keep up on stuff, but I felt like when I used to watch Rev, I don't know, he kind of... I don't know, something felt off about him at the time. You check out Tokyo Hub around the corner. No, I just went to Shin Tokyo, got those, and then went back because I had my car at the hospital. I left it in the car park because I didn't want to drive all the way down to the other car park and then drive all the way back out because it was just more expensive that way. So I just kept my car at the hospital car park, caught a tram down, went to Shin, bought the mangas, had a chat with the guy working there, and then I went home. Well, I went back to the car and then went home.
Exhausting and annoying. A punchline like, here we go, another person wanting to be a rapper, selling me their mixtape. You're the 50th person today who claims to be the next Jay-Z, making you roll your eyes at the mere mention of it. And of course, if you decided to buy this mixtape they were selling you, which was just to get them off your back, you regretted it because it was just complete trash. And it wasn't just the average non-talented person attempting this. You also had celebrities, athletes, from basketball players.
Have you ever watched House MD with your mum together? No, but I have watched House MD. I've got all the DVDs for House. They're in the spare room. I've got all of them.
All you jealous punks can't stop my dunks.
To football players. To professional boxers. Getting to the point again where it almost became a meme, becoming a punchline and a joke, or something mocked in movies of athletes wanting to rap, trying to gain the approval of actual rappers.
It's so hard to get respect as an MC when you're ball players. But I was thinking you could be my mentor.
Right.
Like you could help me with my lyrics.
Right. Like a rap coach.
Like a rap coach.
Right.
It eventually became a
do you think there's going to be a pendulum swing of people who are right-wing, these types of content creators, realizing they're not anti-censorship faction? I think people are starting to realize that there are many content creators on the right that are very pro-censorship. I think there's a whiplash effect because a lot of people jumped to the right side of things and started supporting right-leaning content creators, and now they're realizing that those said right-leaning content creators aren't your allies. That it's all just a goddamn grift for them, and that they sold you a pitch, and now they've ripped the rug under you and gone, psych, we actually support censorship. It's also, there are some content creators on the right, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos, and someone crashed out at me in the comments, that there are some right-wing content creators that are pushing politics in anime. And again, my stance has always been simple. I don't want modern-day real-world politics ham-fisted into anime where it's not needed. I don't care if you're on the left, I don't care if you're on the right. I'll call you both out at the same time. I don't care if I burn bridges with content creators. Trust me, there are specific content creators that I don't think like me for that specific reason. And one of those is Leaflet. I believe Leaflet doesn't like me and keeps her distance well away from me because I've criticized some of her friends that have been pro-censorship, that have pushed and forced politics into anime where it doesn't need to be. And because I've criticized some of her friends, her colleagues, she doesn't want to go near me. Because I rattled the cage. I called out that little echo chamber. And again, she can prove me wrong. She's more than happy to DM me and say, hey, this is how you're wrong. But I generally believe that certain VTubers like that are generally don't want to go near me because I call both sides out. She can prove me wrong at any point in time. She can have a conversation with me. I don't buy it. But I know that that conversation will probably never happen because of that very reason. And I know, I gotta be careful what I say because I know too much about certain things. But I know for a fact that certain people have whinged to her about me. I do know from sources that some content creators have whined about me to her, which is why I believe that she doesn't want to go near me at all, even associate near me. So I don't say it blindly as some weird thing. I've been told a lot of things behind the scenes by multiple people.
Gimmick for some, only interested in...
And at the end of the day, me being honest and genuine sacrifices other content creators ever wanting to associate me, so be it. I don't care. I don't lose any sleep at night. Trust me, I really don't. I do not care if a bunch of content creators don't like me. Because at the end of the day, it's as simple as this. I'm never going to meet you probably in real life. Maybe there might be some content creators I might one day meet in real life and become genuine, good, and close friends with. But I highly doubt it's going to be most of these. 99.99% of them I will probably never meet. Except Tony. Tony, he's special. He's special. He gets to see me this Saturday. Which is actually not a joke. We're actually seeing him on Saturday, so... seriously, content creators being petty? What? Yeah. Oh, dude. I actually kind of got to a point today when I was looking at X, and I was like... Or Twitter. I was kind of like, you know, I really need to be careful how much I get involved in the VTuber community. Because I'm like, dude, that is a landmine that I'm not sure I'm really comfortable dancing in. I'm just like, I really don't know. I'm like... I joke about it, but I was like, I joked a couple of days ago that there might be like a Google Doc on me because I was joking about getting a VTuber girlfriend. And I was like, you know, being serious, you know, if you keep being friends with VTubers, you're probably going to end up getting a Google Doc made on you. So it's like, even if it's bogus, it doesn't matter, right? It's just like, it's too much drama in the content creator space, specifically the VTuber community. Because they're so catty, they're so petty. And that's what happens when an entire content creator space gets taken over by women. I know, this sounds sexist. But when women take over places and spaces, it turns into a shit show. There are so many good VTuber female content creators out there, but when it becomes dominated by women, it turns into a shithole. It really does. I'm getting a Google Doc made on me. Yeah, we both will, Tony. We both will. VTubers do make a lot of money more on regular streamers. Yeah, I mean, VTubers make a lot of money. Like, chicks make a lot of money from streaming. Because a lot of guys will throw a shit ton of money at them. Like, holy shit, do I see the money there and go, damn. I wish I could make, like, a shred of that fucking money. Nah, not sexist. Women can be really catty. The thing is, and I don't say this without good reason, because I talk to a lot of VTubers privately. And a lot of them tell me privately that they hate the VTuber space because of how catty it is. They don't want to associate with other women because of how catty it is. Even the other women in the space hate how catty it is. That's why there are some female VTubers I'm more than happy to collab with, because some of them seem genuinely good. But it's like 70% of them, yeah, no, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I can smell the crazy from a mile away. And there are some out there that really do hate. There's some that vague tweet about me all the time because I troll way too hard on X. Way too hard. Sometimes I surprise myself. Like a popular streamer known Fillion and I mean, I'm waiting for Fillion to come back. I mean, a good example, yeah, there's a bunch of VTubers that honestly feel like they're just clawing at each other, right? I mean, you look at the whole that drama with Cinder and everything. That was just catty. Here's your shred. Ooh, thank you, Tony Down Under, for the $2 Australian. Now I'm as famous as VTubers. Yeah, that Cinder Google Doc was a dumpster. It was. Because look at how many chicks jumped on it, defending Bao and all that. And then it came out that those chicks were just being petty assholes to Cinder. And now Cinder's just gone off and made her own new friend circle. And she's doing now more successful than ever before. This is why I kind of just stick to my own thing. And just kind of, like, if I make content creator friends, I make content creator friends. Like, Monta Sensei, I'll collab with him any day of the week. He only needs to DM me and says, hey mate, you want to collab? I'll be like, yeah, sure. Love Monta Sensei. Great guy, genuine anime fan, really down to earth, super fun to talk to. I have all the time in the world to help him as much as he wants. Because he seems genuine, right? I like him. But other content creators, I kind of get a little bit, touchy-going with, right? I get a little bit cold feet. And I have a couple in my mind, but not like, Leon from Words of Paradise. I like him. He's really cool. He's down to earth and stuff like that. And I'd love to collaborate with him more often and have like conversations regularly about anime. But it's just like time zones and schedules and all that kind of stuff. I mean, Sinai is very sweet as well. She's a really sweet person. Though getting a conversation out of her is probably a little bit more challenging because she seems busy or all up like fairies in their head, like she's kind of doing her own thing, so that kind of thing. And there's a couple of other content creators that I work with, but there are a lot of female VTubers where I'm just like, yeah, no, that's like a bag of crazy that I don't want to touch. That's like like a couple of months away from a Google Doc if I tried to be friends with them. So, and at the same time, like, I know some people always say, oh, you should collab with Chibi Reviews. You'll never get a collab with me and Chibi. You never will. And I'm not saying that as a mean thing. Chibi's just insanely hard to have a conversation with. Dude never fucking replies to my DMs. Bro ghosts me fucking daily. Right? That unless I'm a female VTuber, he doesn't reply to my DMs. I'm just being honest here. He does not reply to his DMs. I've messaged him a number of times, never replies. And then I see him in a Discord server with a chick chatting to him. And I'm like, bro, you could at least reply to my fucking DMs, you fucking prick. Yeah, Tony, our time zones are a little bit difficult, hey? To be honest, I saw you up all last night, and I was like, I think it was up all last night when the James Bond game came out. I went to bed, and I like woke up, and you were still streaming. I was like, Jesus Christ. Change gender, easy. I don't play make-believe with my gender. Have you seen Cha Cha and Fifi's streams before? No, I don't watch them. I find Fifi just kind of annoying, if I'm being honest. I just don't really like her content. The stream that I was watching the other night, the James Bond one. Let me see if I can find her account. I forgot her name, so this is why I'm like brain dead. Ellie, that's her name. That's her name. I was watching her stream last night. Not last night, the night before. Because she was playing the James Bond game. But yeah, I was watching hers when she was doing the James Bond game. That was the only way I could stomach watching the actual gameplay. Because she was just being really weird and sarcastic, and I just thought it was entertaining. So I was like, thank you. You saved me $80, and now I don't have to buy the game. Also, because she ended up following me because I ended up retweeting a tweet of hers where she was talking about a relationship where she was dating a homeless man. And I was jokingly just being sarcastic going, you know what? I give up on relationships. These chicks are picking crazy. And people got like really angry at her. And I'm like, dude, they're like, oh, why would she date a homeless person? I'm like, hey, we all do stupid stuff when we're younger. So she ended up replying to her and she ended up giving context, which made it worse, I think, for herself because everyone got angry. And then people like attacked her, and I was just like, I don't know, she seems kind of fun to listen to. She's very witty and very sarcastic, but she ended up following me, so I was like, cool. We'll never talk beyond that. But it was kind of fun. She's cool. Did Fillion get banned or something? Based on my understanding, my speculation is that Fillion is working on a new model due to legal reasons, so she's had to delete all her old content. Because of the legal reasons, because her old model is in all the old content, she needs to get rid of it all. So she's making like the new model, and she's going to come back at some point. That's my speculation. I'm pretty sure on it. Since you're Australian, do you know Lady Beard? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know who Lady Beard is. Maybe I do. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of have to look it up now. I'm gonna feel so bad if like I look them up online and they actually follow me. I don't know. I don't know who Lady Beard is. I type in the word Ladybeard and all I got is Baby Metal. But yeah. I mean, if you enjoyed the 007 game, that's great. I don't knock anyone. If at the end of the day, if you enjoy the game, you enjoy the game. You're on the last level. See, that kind of saddens me though. If the game only lasts around, say, like 13 to 14 hours, I don't know if it's worth $80. I don't know. I just miss the old James Bond stories and games. I wanted something like GoldenEye with a mix of Hitman in it. He was a guy who was on Trash Taste. Okay. I don't remember them. He's a professional wrestler. He is Australian. He appeared in Trash Taste. Nope, don't know him.
The aesthetic of a rapper, commercializing it, saturating it, and making a mockery of it.
New Year's Eve, Kelly D in the venue.
Funnier when the time a guy who crashed out in my DMs because I said the only person I see picking Hazam Bin Hotel is guy bro hates bleach.
Pop the ring. Got marriage on my menu.
Right. Marriage, not just basketball with you.
Yo,
Drake?
yo.
Drake?
Oh, you got a two-way, man?
Yeah.
That now, for those who actually took the craft very seriously and passionately, it became too shameful to even mention that you wanted to rap because the image of it became so tainted and mocked that if you dare stated you rapped and are actually talented, you just came off like the other 1,000 people who said the same thing before you to whoever person you were trying to convince at the time. It all became a joke. But I also want to make this point. It's not like those who wanted to rap, though unskilled at it, weren't fans of it, hip-hop rap and the culture surrounding it. It's just the fact that so many think just because you're a fan of something, it automatically means you're qualified and skilled at it when it's not the case. A good example that demonstrates this well is a scene from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Will's character has his friend played by D.L. Hughley, a stand-up comedian, visits him while he's doing a show in his town. It's a craft that Will assumes comes with ease, downplaying the amount of effort it takes to do stand-up.
All you gotta do is stand up there and tell a couple jokes. Anybody can get up on a stage and tell a couple jokes.
Thinking there's nothing to it.
How you gonna say something silly like that? There's a craft to this, man. I take this real seriously.
Oh, please, look, I've been funny all my life.
And while backstage due to a comedy act they both do to Get a Girl's Number, who's a classic 90s baddie.
Excuse me, miss. Is this abrasive Negro bothering you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he is.
Now you get out of her face now!
Will's humorous side is displayed to the show's manager watching from afar and just offered a time slot in the next show.
You a comic?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm not here for the audition.
You don't have to. What I saw was good enough. You're in the showcase. You're on at 8:15.
And to this, D.O. Hughley's character is offended by this.
Yabba dabba do, I'm in the showcase too!
Something that Will doesn't understand at first. To Will, this is something that's silly, something he automatically assumes he's good at because he comes off funny in certain scenarios, but learns quickly that just because you can tell a few jokes with your friends or pull off a prank, it doesn't mean you qualify to be a stand-up comedian.
Well, see, there's a difference between a stand-up comedian and someone that's just funny around people, right? Because it always comes down to, like, being funny around your friends, it requires something to bounce off on, right? And if you're a stand-up comedian, generally speaking, you've got to have, like, lines and scripts and a kind of a story to kind of work with, unless you can try and work with the crowd and stuff. So it's like stand-up comedians are a very different atmosphere, I find. I've seen some good stand-up comedians that try to play off the audience, but I mean, I'm generally seen as pretty funny with my friends group, right? I have, you know, people that I talk to online, friends in real life. They all think I'm funny, but it's because you bounce things off of them, right? They do something, you have a witty reply, something weird happens in life, you do something, like how you respond to things. And because I can be very witty and sarcastic at times, it's just one of those where it's just like everyone generally just feels relaxed around me because I don't take anything serious and it's all just, you know, gags and fun. Hey, Spiritu, is Will Smith still needs to stand up to his... That is true. Hey, Spiritu, is there any Western animations you like recently? I know most of it is bad and mid. I haven't really watched any Western animations recently. I think they're laughing at you, not with you. Don't worry, they're laughing with me, because if they don't, I'm fucking kicking their ass. I run my groups. I am the boss, man. But yes, everyone has to laugh. It's all about your voice, timing, and gesture of body. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Rev said Desu, Straw have become the Will Smith. Yeah, they kind of have. They have. My apologies, Glitch Production is actually an Australian indie company. If we're talking about Mixtape, yeah, Mixtape was made in Melbourne. Who's lying now? I never lie.
You may be a fan of it, but you're not talented at it. And just by you participating in this craft cheapens it by default. Like anyone can now be a stand-up comedian versus those who actually put their blood, sweat, and...
Ricky Gervais and Espiritu collab. I love Ricky Gervais. I think he's hilarious. But I like his motto and his stance in life of just not caring about people being offended. And I think that's how you gotta work, right? That's how I feel, right? I just say what I feel. I be real, be honest. If people get offended, well, that's a you problem, not a me problem, right? I don't take anything serious. This is the thing. I feel like a lot of people think that I get very worked up over things. I try not to let anything get under my skin or upset me too much. It doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, but I try not to let it because I've been through some shit in my life, and I've seen real dark stuff in my life. And so once you've been to that dark place, you've sometimes just got to learn to just not take the small things to heart. Keep my Oshi out of your
tears in it.
What, you mad at me that I got in the showcase? I mean, I just walked in and lady...
Have you watched the Men in Black series? I stopped after the last Men in Black, the real Men in Black, right? When Will Smith wasn't a cock.
He gave it to me. I wasn't going for it.
Yeah, but I was.
Dedicating years and experience to honing their craft.
You don't get this, huh? I worked my butt off to get here, man. You know how many clubs I got booed out of? How many dives I had to play till I got a routine that finally worked for me?
Of what it means to formulate a joke and perform it on stage.
This ain't nothing but a joke to you. To me, this is serious.
So what, you asking me to back out?
No. I'm asking you to just show me some respect.
Respect? I walked through the door and before my butt hit the chair, the lady was giving me a job. You could learn something from me.
Which again, Will learns quickly when he bombs in front of an audience.
Give me that before you hurt yourself.
And realizes that being funny with your friends is not the same as being funny towards a crowd.
Message!
Just because you're funny and entertaining.
I mean, Men in Black 3 was confusing, but it was alright, right? It was fun, but after that it all went downhill. It was a good ending, right? It might be confusing, but it was a good ending, like Tony said.
On a live stream playing games doesn't mean that's going to translate well into a story that's in a comic inspired by a manga format. Or just because you're a fan of MHA, Bleach, or Naruto doesn't mean you're the next Horikoshi, Kishimoto, or Kubo.
I'm about to come out with my own anime. You ain't never seen an anime like this ever in your life.
But will only lead to a mockery of the medium, bringing shame to it.
Yeah, this is stupid. Getting these celebrities getting their own animes is so stupid. And look what we have there. Look what we have there. Oh, great.
While thinking what you're doing is good when it's actually a
oh my god. If this is real, this is stupid.
Fucking disgrace. It cheapens the medium and makes it a laughingstock. Because now, every celebrity influencer wants to make their own manga.
Yeah, and iShowSpeed getting his own anime is stupid as well. He's stupid.
And anime, or be part of the industry in some way, taking photos with this and that and doing collaborations.
I did watch the live action show on Netflix.
It was great.
Luffy D Monkey, shout out Luffy.
Monkey D Luffy.
What?
Monkey D Luffy.
It's Monkey D Luffy.
Just like everyone wanted to be a rapper, making their own mixtape, and now having people roll their eyes the same way on someone announcing their upcoming anime or manga release. Which is why I don't like what Kadokawa is doing with trying to get content creators and influencers into manga.
Agreed. I don't want content creators involved in making manga and anime. I just don't agree with it, and that's why I'm not happy that Giget's involved, because it's just gonna be soulless slop. and it's only going to become popular because, you know, all claiming it's big. It's like Giga's anime, right? It was nice, but it wasn't as good as what everyone claimed it was. And the reason why people claimed it was the best thing since sliced bread is because people wanted to get on Giga's good side. I just didn't bother reviewing it because I just didn't see the value in getting into an arms war with a bunch of parasocial weirdos. Thank you for the $2 super chat. They are parasites, and I agree. I agree. I absolutely agree. This is disappointing. I think the biggest issue is they're calling American animations an anime because the corporate mind animation. Yeah, they should just call it animations, right? Just call it cartoon. We're making our own cartoon. Just call it that instead of calling it anime. I hate the fact that they're calling it anime. Kadokawa rejected Beamer anime. Really? Because it'd be interesting if they did, even though he funded it himself. I liked Giga's anime. I loved it. It affected me. I did review, but the manga announced was bad. I mean, again, some people love it, some people don't. I just thought it was too confusing. Am I shadow banned? No, you're not shadow banned. Andrew. Show them an anime outside? Yeah.
I'm entering a manga contest. Kadokawa approached me and asked if I wanted to help promote more content creators like myself making...
And see, again, notice how he said it. More content creators like himself, which means him and his friends are going to be the only ones that get to do this. No one else outside of that echo chamber is going to be allowed. It's a cool kids group. Exclusively for himself and only to benefit for him and his own friends. I don't want that. They can stick out of it. It's stupid. I don't want them involved in the manga industry. I don't want them involved in the light novel industry. I want them to just stick to making content on YouTube. I don't want them involved in the anime community at all, in any capacity. And this whole... Oh, that was the other video I also wanted to go over at one point, was Joey's video about the Kadokawa thing with isekais, because he basically claims isekais are killing anime kind of thing. That, by the way, by Joey is such a disingenuous video. Joey really mischaracterizes what is going on with isekais. Maybe I might save it for another stream. I have to remember to go find the original video, though. Thank you for the $5 super chat from D Runaway. Con, I was at this past weekend that had Kurokawa release his new manga. Okay. You'll make an Australian isekai. The Dundee of Australia. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I really hate Trash Taste. I freaking hate Connor. He's a super parasite. I find Connor to be very much of a tourist, in my opinion. Connor is constantly attacking anything that is mainstream, in my opinion, right? Anything that's like the cool thing to hate on, he does. I still remember when I was trying to remember what anime it is that came out on Netflix, and it was a PowerPoint presentation. I think it was called Ragnarok. And he praised it. He praised the living hell out of it because it was sponsored by Netflix. And he was claiming that actually it wasn't that bad. It wasn't really a PowerPoint presentation, that everyone else was lying. And then when another anime came out that wasn't sponsored by Netflix, that was identically the same in animation style, he called it out for being a PowerPoint presentation. That was where I kind of generally got sick of Connor more and more and more, because you can tell that all he's doing is just saying what's popular to say based on corporate interests. Trash Taste are really such bad people for anime. They shouldn't have done either reviews at this point. And I think what kind of pushed me over the line when it came to not liking Trash Taste is when they had Asan on the podcast twice. That was when I drew the line. And then Connor had to lie to defend Hassan. That's where I was like, I was done with him. I was done. I wasn't going to end up giving them a second chance. And the fact that Joey kept fence sitting and kept jumping around on his opinions and everything, but he keeps trying to go back to his original roots because he's trying to do more content on his second channel. I'm just like, yeah, no. I can't. Gigit's the better one out of the three, but even Gigit feels like a soulless corporate shill now. He really does. He feels like a soulless corporate shill. And it disappoints me because Gigit was probably the chosen one out of them all. The anime was just a bunch of fights, nothing more than that, honestly. Yeah, I mean, Ragnarok was not well animated. It was a PowerPoint presentation, and Connor praised it. Why? Because it was sponsored. So, yeah. And welcome to the chat, Nick. It's good seeing you around again.
Original content via the new World Manga Contest.
It's a move that will only degrade the medium, cheapen it, lower its quality of what's to be expected, and highly compromise the integrity it should be handled with. A content creator is not the same as being a creative or an artist, because content is not the same as art. It's not the same as creating a novel, a story, painting, sketches, and music, which is why the people who are actually talented at it are most of the times not as popular as the content creators, because content creating is about the person being famous, because their personality is the main focus and how they deliver the content on social media, while actual creatives is more about their work being the sole focus of what they want to be famous, not themselves, which is why I don't like these contest opportunities being shared with.
Yep, that is 100% correct, because this contest is no longer about making a good product, it's about who's the popular This was something that I said in a previous stream and a previous video too, and I feel like Monta Sensei is on the same track as me, that this manga award or thing has nothing to do with making a good manga and everything to do with a popularity contest to do with content creators, because that's the only reason why Gigit's going to win, and they're going to only give it to him, or they're only going to give it to him and large content creators like him because they're content creators. It's the same reason why a lot of animes are going to anime content creators or like content creators for voice acting, right? There's a bunch of animes like Amy Lee, right? Again, if you like her, you like her, you don't, you don't. I personally am not a big fan of her. And the reason why is because of her and people like her are getting into anime voice acting. And the only reason why they're picking her is because they're using her as a marketing tool. So it's no longer about the anime and being a good product, and it's more about, hey, we got these voice actors and they're celebrities, so you should go watch the anime. Basically, it's the same thing that Hollywood does to movies. And what Hollywood does to a lot of movies is they get A-tier celebrities to market the movie rather than just making the movie good. You look at Marvel, right? The new Marvel movie coming out, which is I forget what it's called, the one with Tony Stark coming back in, or not Tony Stark, sorry, Robbie Downey Jr. coming back into it. The reason why they're bringing back Robbie Downey Jr. is because he is an A-tier celebrity that gets people to sit in the actual cinema. At the end of the day, they're willing to spend more money to hire him than just hiring a new actor for something else, because at the end of the day, the thing that gets people to actually watch the movie is the people that care about the celebrities, not about an actual good movie. And I'm scared that they're going to try and slowly do that to anime, where anime is no longer about making a good product and a good story, and it's more about which celebrity can you get as a voice actor. Yeah, Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday. And that's my concern. And when it comes to manga and light novels, that's my concern right there, that it's no longer about making a good story, it's about who they can get as a content creator or a celebrity to make that. That's why they're giving, and this leads into that, this is why they're giving iShowSpeed his own anime, right? Animations, cartoon is the real word to use for this, because it will get his fans to watch it. So it will naturally do good because of him, not because it's an actual good product. That's the problem. It's the same reason, and this might be something that might hit close to home with Tony, that's why they put so many cameos in the new 007 movie. Not movie, the game. because it gets people to promote the actual game that then gets people to buy the game just to see the collabs or the cameos. That's where I then get concerned that they're not putting their all into the game or the product because they're needing to use cheap, shitty marketing tactics.
Influencers and content creators, rather than being afforded solely to those who dedicate their lives to the craft, but now will be easily outshined and overshadowed by those who have far more popularity, resources, and money, something that true creatives and artists struggle to gather.
Message!
These studios will now put money behind influencers because all of a sudden they...
I hate how Speed become a hoodwink icon. Yeah. I generally get kind of tired of seeing his gifs all around the place. It's like the only thing they ever use now. And I don't actually hate Speed himself. I think he's alright. He seems okay. I just kind of hate... It feels like the same thing with Mr. Beast, right? Where it's just shoved everywhere in your face. And it's just like, okay, I don't need it in every dumb little thing. The James Bond game does not work on AMD and Intel GPU. Ooh, that's not good.
They just love anime.
Your point makes sense, but it isn't too much close to the gate to foreigners that maybe have good ideas. I mean, the problem is that I don't really want foreigners to be making mangas. I know that sounds bad, Andrew, but I just don't like... I just don't like the idea of foreigners making mangas. Let Japan do that, right? Because I don't think anything good's going to come out of Westerners. If that was the case, then they would have made their own comics and their own cartoons, but they didn't. They have to be anime. They have to be manga now. Why? Because it's not about making a good product. It's about riding off of a trend. There's a lot of content creators that make their own comics, and they're Americans. Because that's the thing, they're sticking to their own roots of what they are. At the end of the day, I would prefer Americans to make comics and cartoons, rather than trying to force inject themselves into the anime community. Let anime be for, Japan's culture. I don't need Westerners making anime and mangas and light novels, like those kinds of things over there. They can make their own stuff elsewhere, right? I just don't want Western influence. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like I just put my foot down on it. I get some of them might mean well, but I'd rather not run the risk. And I know it comes off petty, but it's just I just don't really run the risk. Yeah. So in terms of cameos, they're easily missable. But I hate how they marketed the cameos. Yeah, I hate how they've marketed the cameos because it feels cheap and tacky. I mean, did Brazilian made No Game No Life? Huh?
I love anime. I'm addicted to anime.
If you're an influencer that has 100,000 followers, views, whatever, just by saying you like anime now will qualify you to have your own fake anime or manga made now. Because people see you as having an already predetermined fan base, and that's easy money for them. Just like how Ethan Hawke, the skilled actor, realized that nowadays to get a role in a movie, it's not about nailing the audition or acting your butt off to qualify for the part. The casting is now decided on how many followers you have, because studios...
And I agree with that. Anime to me is Japanese, right? It should stay Japanese. It should stay for the Japanese people. At the end of the day, if you're an American or whatnot and you want to make your own animation, it's a cartoon, right? I just don't like the idea of Westerners trying to get their foot into anime, because it feels like it's a gateway to slowly eroding away what makes anime anime. And I just want to keep it pure. I understand a lot of people have a passion and love for anime and they want to make their own anime. I don't blame you. I understand that. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes we have to make a sacrifice for the greater good. Same trend to killing... Katakawa on Isekai slot for over 10 years. I have a lot of thoughts about that when it comes to Joey, because Joey whinges about Isekai's isekais is the reason why it's killing anime, because Kadokawa keeps investing in isekais. But at the end of the day, isekais isn't what's killing anime. It's isekai slops. But Joey's trying to paint it as isekais in general is what's killing anime. But he's not being authentic about it. It's the fact that Kadokawa keeps getting slop, right? It's I call them one-hit wonders, where they do one season of an anime and then they flow them aside and then kind of like ignore them. Thank you for the $10 super chat again. Much appreciated, Sledge. Koreans make manhwas, Japanese make mangas, and the West make comics. They will take the face of the other because it's popular. Yeah, exactly. Spot on. Spot on. Dead spot on. Because that's it. I mean, Koreans don't call theirs mangas, don't they? No, they call them manhwas. Japanese call them mangas, and Westerners should call them comics. Calling them and that's the thing. I'm not saying that you can't make your own comic. I'm saying you should make your own comic, but don't call it a manga. That's the whole point. Just don't call it a manga. And that's why I don't like the idea that to rephrase what I'm saying, did a person who made No Game No Life is a Brazilian person? I mean, the author of No Game No Life is in Japan. Right? I'm a bit confused on that one, Jack. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like Koreans are calling theirs mangas. It's manhwas. It's absolutely spot on. And I think that's the problem. At the end of the day, it feels like when Speed is making his own, anime, it's like, no, just call it a cartoon. All you're doing is you're trying to hijack the anime industry to try and ride off of its popularity. It's not authentic. If your cartoon is good enough, it will do well on its own, right? Just call it a cartoon. But they won't, because they know it won't do well unless it's riding off of anime. Actually, DC Comics CEO has admitted that manga and novels have been selling better than comics, which has made them reflect on their way to do stories and comics in general. Yeah, because most of the comics suck. They suck. What is with these gifts? They're all fancy and everything. Sent Flow State. Thank you for the 200 jewels. I've never seen these before. I don't know. I believe this is like a new feature by X. I remember Mama Oko DM'd me a couple of weeks ago showing me the feature that they saw, and I was like so confused about it. I was like, what the hell? It looks really cool because I see it in my chat and it's like all glowy and everything. It's kind of cool, but I've never seen it before. Thank you again for the 200 jewels, and of course to the other person that did the 1,000 jewels before. I'm so confused by it. It's a whole new feature, so... Because it doesn't say how many jewels on the top screen. It just says, sent Flow State to me. And I'm just like confused as all hell. The creator of No Game No Life is Brazilian. Okay, I was getting confused by the wording. I mean, I believe they live in Japan, don't they? It's a mobile thing? Okay. But I mean, again, if they're a Brazilian living in Japan, right, then it's like, okay, then it makes sense why it's called manga. Most of the new DC Marvel comics are not gonna lie, but yeah, that's because most DC and Marvel comics suck. Because there's nothing interesting about the stories anymore. They're not making good stories, and a lot of them are just weird self-insert DEI slop. Yeah, he lives in Japan. Yeah, which is why it makes sense to call it a manga, because he lives in Japan. He's selling it to a Japanese audience within that media. So where the origin of the story is coming from is there. But I show Speed as American. He lives in America. He's in America. It's made for an American audience. It's going to be sold in potentially maybe Japan. So it should be called a comic or a cartoon in this case. Manga is exactly the same as comic books. Some Japanese people even call manga comics. Yeah. But it feels like they're just riding off of the name rather than just calling it that. Like, okay, then why call it a manga? If it's the same thing, right? And you're saying they're both the same thing, then why can't I Showed Speed just call it a cartoon or a comic or etc.? Why does it have to be called an anime or a manga? Because it's more about riding off of the Japanese media rather than making something good and authentic for their own. You can sit there and say that they're both the same word, but at the end of the day, then why call it manga? Why call it anime? Why not just call it a cartoon? Because they're trying to use anime and manga and light novels as a medium to sell their product to an audience. They're only trying to ride off of it. It's more about marketing and less about making a good product, because he's riding off the profit. Exactly, he's riding off it. Yeah, if you're not from Japan, you shouldn't make a comic and call it a manga. Yeah, I agree. I think if you're from Japan and you're making a manga, you call it a manga, you don't call it a comic. I just don't really like the way that a lot of these content creators are just trying to ride off of that trend.
They'll see that as a guaranteed audience that will show up. Being famous is now the qualifier, not being talented or skilled anymore. And what makes it worse, the way to be famous nowadays is now built on how much of an idiot, nuisance, or fool you can be, all for attention. Even outside of anime, how Stephen Colbert is now going to be responsible for writing the next screenplay of Lord of the Rings.
Because we've got a very special partner that we're working with, and you can see for yourself. Hang on. There we go.
Thank you again for the $10 super chat, Sledge. Anime should cater to the Japanese first and foremost. The West has ruined comics for themselves, and they want to capture the manga readers who constantly buy manga. I agree. And I think that's why you've got all these Western corporations trying to get their hands into manga, because they ruined their own comics. They made slop. They made slop after slop after slop after slop after slop. And now they've got all this DI and all this woke in it, so no one wants to buy their comics anymore. So what do? Those consumers went to manga because it's better storytelling. But now the Western corporations are like, oh, well, no one wants to buy our comics. Well, let's go make mangas. And it's like, well, you fail to understand what makes why people love mangas. Because it's the story and the worlds and all the rest. But now they're going to try and insert themselves into the manga industry, in the light novel industry, in the anime industry, and try and infect it and change it from within. And make more slop. Is Japan perfect? No, it's not. But there's a reason why people moved away from comics and cartoons and moved over to anime and manga. You see that JB Hi-Fi in the City, it has a manga section? Yep. It's because manga's become so popular now. Because people don't care about comics because they're shit. They're boring. I'm bitter to these new anime fans that over 20 years old just because when I was a kid, these same people tried to bully people like us. Now they're rated. And yeah, I agree. It's why I always call out a lot of these VTubers that claim to be anime gaming fans. And you can tell from how they talk, they hate anime. They hate gaming, but they pretend it. And they're like, oh, I love anime. Ooh. It's just like, you can see behind the mask that these are the same chicks that bullied us in high school for liking anime. And for liking manga. And for liking light novels. And now, because it's popular, they're jumping on the VTuber trend, they're jumping on the anime trend, so now they suddenly need to pretend that they've always liked these kinds of things. I just don't buy it, and that's why I just call them out, because they're so fake and disingenuous.
Hi, Peter. What qualifies him? Well, he's a fan of the books and is also famous to go along with it. The fact that he isn't a seasoned screenwriter, unequipped with dealing with such a high-profile property as famous and...
I love the way you make about yourself, Tony. It was good though.
Respected as Lord of the Rings doesn't matter. Even jokes being made of how famous rappers were occupying roles in movies, pushing
Even Japanese gotcha games have more in common with anime than Western anime. Yeah. It's because China adapts a lot of other cultures. And it was also interesting because I read an article about Apothecary Diary, which is really funny because a lot of people say Apothecary Diary is inspired, is a historical accurate Chinese story. And apparently the author came out and said, actually no, Apothecary Diary is not historically accurate. It's just inspired from Chinese, like architecture and story, etc., with some Japanese spin in it. And people got like really upset about that. It was just fun fact because I read that today. Funny enough, Tony, Renee, also same state as us. So, fun fact. You're both SA. Most Chinese gotcha games take inspiration from, like, yeah, they take a lot of inspiration from, like, the Japanese gotchas and all that kind of stuff as well. Which is why Chinese and Japanese media can be very similar. But they have their own little variations to it. Yes, I agree. I don't mind the younger fans because they grew up in the time where anime is popular and they generally like it. But the old and new fans, I can't stand. Yeah, and that's what some of the new VTubers are. They're older, and you can tell they never liked anime. But even then, some of the newer fans are kind of faking a little bit. But most of them are, you know, growing up with manga and anime being much more prevalent. So.
Aside, true talented actors became a running joke as well.
Don't you know that you and I are an endangered species?
Why? Because we're black males?
No, because all the rappers are taking all the good acting jobs.
Content creators doing voice dubbing for anime all afforded the role because of their following, not
I just said that.
Their talent, even admitting themselves how hard it was from what they assumed it'd be.
But what I didn't realize, because I haven't done much voice acting in general, and not at all really with anime dubs outside of like 2 lines and like a really old one, is that you have to match the lip sync of the characters that are already established, and you have to match the tone of the voice actor that you are dubbing for, because that's not something I've done before, and I don't think I really did a great job nailing it.
But some of you
I don't like Moist Critical, by the way. The dude is a bloody dumbass. I used to like his content. He annoys the shit out of me. But this is exactly my point. I hate how content creators have become voice actors. It irritates the living hell out of me. Because it just shows that they're just hiring these content creators because they're popular, not because they're good for the job. Which, by the way, pisses off a lot of voice actors as well, because now they feel like they're being shafted out of a job. Well, I wanted to make my manga. Hopefully, you're not going to call it not pure or minimize it. I mean, if you make a manga, you make a manga. That's fine. You can make whatever you want. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, yeah, it's just, I just see it as like, if you make those kinds of things, you call it a comic, call it manga, call it manhwa. It's like, I don't see people in Korea calling theirs mangas. They call them manhwas. It's just different places, right? He appeared on Dispatch. Cough, cough, Yong Ye. Yong Ye is a classic. I'm going to deal with this cat for a second. Because it's driving me up a wall. food. But I mean, like I said, you can make your own, you know, stories and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, I just wanted to keep it, you know, you know, sort of authentic to its original versions. It just kind of sucks. It'd be nice if, like, we had, like, good comics again, right? Good storytelling in the comics and all those kinds of stuff. It's just sad because at the end of the day, a lot of these, like, storytellers, they just, I don't know. Good stories lost in the West. And I think a lot of it's just because everything has to be politically correct, which is just kind of sad.
You may know, I recently started learning how to draw with similar items I've tagged in this video. And with the release of the new Bleach trailer, it's only right that I've dedicated this video sketch to the one and only beautiful, fine Yoruichi. Now, this was a bit challenging, I'll admit, compared to what I'm used to, and I know there's plenty of flaws with it. As we discussed,
Do you not like Moy's critical ever since he called out other people but not Mr. Beast? It's because they're all friends of each other. They're all corporate sellouts.
on last night's stream, it looks like her, but at the same time it doesn't look like her. I tried to fix the eyes this morning to make them more narrow, which helped a little but not a whole lot. I'm still overall satisfied with it, but not fully proud of it. Yoruichi deserves better, and I will make sure to draw a full body pic in the future as I get better to do her justice. Maybe in that famous, very sexy cat pose, yes.
Hell yes.
But there is one thing, or at least two things.
It looks good. I mean, it is a good drawing, but yeah, I mean, it's always those subtle little details.
At least the heavies look good enough.
Let me see that again. I didn't get a good look at that.
It's only a matter of time before I really excel in that area. But shout out to everyone who sent me their art as well. Some of you started around the same time as me, which is cool. And shout out to Asylum for dedicating a sketch of Ultron to Tom Kane, the voice actor who recently passed away, RIP. Good tribute because we definitely lost a legend with him, as well as others. Truly some talent out there I love to see and share. And if you want to start sketching as well, again, I've tagged...
I should actually show him some of my old drawings, but I haven't drawn in so long.
Some items to begin with in this video, along with some others. Feel free to check it out. But regardless, I always appreciate the love. Now back to the video. Celebrities now see anime as a promotion tool. Like, look at me, I like what you like as well. Aren't I hip and relatable now? And I am so sick of the new sales pitch line influencers use to gain sympathy points.
I just noticed that recently I just been going through things in my head. I was able to, you know, turn to like anime, Death Note, Naruto. Recently, since I've been gone.
Code Geass. Yeah. This shit helped me through a lot of mental problems. I was on a Stairmaster watching Code Geass saved my life. Code Geass saved my life.
It saved my life. What do you mean by that? I was depressed before, like, watching it.
Yeah, this is the thing that I hate. The way they're trying to use anime as like a, oh, it saved my life. And it's like, again, they all keep saying the same script. It's so fake. It's so disingenuous. You know it. You know it's all performative. Mondo Sensei emphasizes on the abdomen where the spice. Yeah, he knows what to show.
No way. The days when we found out our favorite artists or celebrities were anime fans by accident are long gone. They didn't see it as a press conference to announce to the world constantly. We just found out by accident because it was something they truly and genuinely enjoyed in their own life on their own time, where fans themselves realized through coded references.
Sub-Zero guiding, hiding, writing in the pack as well. Sound Village, Leaf Village, Wolf Spirit, magic spells, yeah!
Or interviews in retrospect.
Kanye had a listening session that was in a movie theater. I'll never forget it. And what Kanye did is that you came into the movie theater, he had programs for like all of the songs and some of the lyrics and all of that, and edited visuals from anime movies that he liked and played that in sync to the music. The moment...
Anime did change my life, but I'm not popular. That's the thing, like, I believe a lot of you. If you said that anime changed your life and that it helped you get through challenging times, I'd believe you, chat. Right? I'd believe you. But some of these content creators, I don't believe them. I think they're just saying that because they want people to make them believe that they're genuine anime fans, right? That they're like, oh, I'm a real anime fan because when I watched it, it helped me through a difficult time. And it's like, it feels performative, right? It feels very performative. But when some of you in chat, it's like you've got nothing to gain from it. You're not popular. You're not putting on a performance, right? It's why I'm just like, the way they present it, it's very performative. That's the issue.
He did that, and the moment that I left there, I was like, Kanye wins. Right. I don't care what 50 Cent got in the tank.
That's how long I've been on ya.
Versus now, when celebrities need to overtly remind us in every post and every interview, like, okay, I get it, you're a fan. Stop trying to sell me how much you're a fan, like people trying to sell me their mixtape. Also treating manga like trading stocks and investments, a vision I hate to see for the medium.
Yeah, I hate the way a lot of mangas are getting treated like Pokemon cards, where it's all like, it's like a stock now. It's an investment. Oh, I bought this manga and it's worth $2,500. Ugh.
But may be inevitable at this point.
I actually have the most expensive manga.
I agree with Tony down under here. I went through a very hard time when I was trying to take a poop, and manga helped me through it. It really did. It helped me get through that very difficult time of taking a massive fucking crap. It was just there for me, man. It was just there for me through that really tough and like strong time where I really had to push through, right? Guys, like I had to sit there and really push really hard through that time. And manga was just there for me when I needed to take that massive fucking dump of a monster. It was just, yeah. It was there for me in that very pushing time. It was a very push come shove time. And I'm glad I was able to just flush that problem away. And manga was there to help me flush that problem away. You know? Manga helped me take a dump.
Of all time. So Japanese comics, the birthplace of some of the biggest IP and the biggest franchises in the world. And I'm an anime fan, a casual anime fan. I know people go crazy, but I love my One Piece, I love my Demon Slayer, my One Punch Man, and Dragon Ball, obviously.
As with anything that eventually
just named like the top 4.
It becomes too popular, it begins to work against itself, inviting opportunists rather than enthusiasts, leeches and parasites rather than fans and creators, those who want to bleed it dry over those.
Do you use manga as toilet paper as well? No, I use comics for toilet paper. I wouldn't ever sully mangas. Mangas are sacred.
Those who want to cherish and preserve, paving the way for a future where it leaves it unrecognizable, only to be reminisced by true fans.
Message!
But that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Before I end this, in a previous video, I did share a clip of Sneako discussing this odd artificial push from famous influencers promoting how much they just love anime to the public and predicting that this is all weird, leading up to some marketing for their own potential projects and collaborations.
But something's going on here with this anime push and I don't like it. Mr. Beast changing his profile picture, everybody coming out and saying, okay, mental health is one thing, but this new anime push from every single influencer, it's like, just drop the YouTube anime show already.
Yeah, he is right on that. I don't really like Sneako, but he is right on that. He is right. There's clearly something going on behind the scenes.
Every YouTuber gonna get in a Netflix anime show.
And coincidentally enough,
or they're all gonna be voice actors, that they're gonna try and get them to voice act shit for popularity.
We had Mr. Beast collabing with Naruto for a clothing line, and now IShowSpeed, Megan, all getting their own cartoon that is being labeled an anime.
Ah, I knew it!
They don't like it, but they know when they change their profile pictures to Luffy or whatever, when they talk about like, oh, season 8, episode 309 really helped my mental health in Naruto. They know that they're gonna milk the out of you, just letting you know that this new push is artificial.
And it just
this is why we need to stay strong, stay together, because support real content creators that actually enjoy anime, not these fakes like Mr. Beast.
Confirms all the red flags.
Which, by the way, I got Mr. Beast to reply to one of my tweets calling him a fake.
That have raised whenever I hear a celebrity trying to sell me how much they just love anime. Even The Weeknd, who I do enjoy his music, but posting pics with a manga he loves, which I'm sure he does truly love and enjoy, but then will make an appearance at the upcoming Crunchyroll Awards, contributing to a platform that makes it their job to hire corrupt localizers, injecting their own political ideologies, allowing the destruction of a foreign art form, only seeing it as a tool to fuel their own
I don't really like Sneeko, but I think Sneeko is really smart and clued up. That's why he's shunned by everyone. I mean, I think Sneeko can sometimes be the biggest idiot on the planet, but I generally think he's right on this. He is right. Whether you like him or not, and yeah, he can say and do some stupid shit, but he's right on this. These content creators are fake. They're pretending to be into anime. They're putting on a performance because it's all corporate shit. Crunchyroll award is funny case. I didn't even pay attention to it. Everyone was talking about it. I was like, I don't give a shit.
Ego and agenda, something I just wouldn't see true fans doing. But maybe there's some ignorance there. But I don't know. It is what it is.
There's a lot of AniTuber content creators on this platform. There are, but a lot of them have specialties. Like some of them cover specific animes or specific things or that kind of stuff. So you've always got to try and find your own niches and stuff like that. Whatever fits your own interests and stuff.
Whatever. Also, if you want to support me and the content I create, consider joining my channel, becoming a member. It's much appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think.
But yeah. Let me just check some stuff. Just trying to think, because I went through that one. There's a couple of Monda Senseis that I haven't been up to date on. That I'm a little bit behind on. But there's a couple that I've kept up to date on. Because, yeah, I watched... This was one that I did watch off stream. Just trying to think. This was one that I, watched off stream.
The anime.
And I thought it was a really good one because I actually messaged him privately about it. Because it was to do with the female protagonist thing, which was a video that I made today as well, going over that. Because I kind of had a bit of a problem with how there's this chick that's like attacking it and being like, oh, there's not enough female representation. And actually it was just her complaining that male spaces are like the mainstream thing. The way they spot a fake anime fan and ask them what they think of Mushoku Tensei. But yeah, I watched this and it was an interesting watch, to say the least, because yeah, Joey, like I said, Joey needs to stop sitting on the fence and he needs to start actually calling them out. He needs to actually start calling them out on their absolute bogus stuff. Let's have a look. What do we got coming out? Summer. 38 days until Mushoku Tensei. And then we got... Looking forward to that. Got to actually get my next light novel review out. Ooh. Okay. I need to rewatch season 1 for that. Oh wow, season 2 for that's coming out already. Wasn't Apothecary Diary coming out soon? I'll have to check. Interesting that that's getting a second season so quickly, but they were probably already pre-planning it. But yeah. I'm hyped for Mushoku Tensei. So am I. I need to finish reading the... Well, I actually need to start reading and finishing reading the end stories. Because I haven't been reading... I haven't read them. I've been waiting for season 3 to come out so that I then will start reading them. We got some bangers coming out. We do. We've got some really good animes coming out this season. It's going to come in October. Okay. I forgot. I could probably look it up. Yeah, it's coming out. Oh, you got the cat one too. I think I remember actually looking at that. I don't know if, yeah. Because, yeah, the movie I'm looking forward to as well. I really enjoy Apothecary Diary. I just hate the way Apothecary Diary has been hijacked as like a feminist anime. It was actually a video that I was planning to make at some point, was actually talking about that. Because I hate the fact that leftist feminists are trying to hijack Apothecary Diary and say that it's a feminist movement anime. When it's really not. It's really not. If you actually watch Apothecary Diary, it is not a feminist anime. It's really not. It's just they want to hijack it. I need to wait for the first batch of Slime episodes to release. I hate waiting a full week. Yeah, it's the only downside about Slime. It's one of the reasons why I waited for it all to air before I jumped and watched all of Slime last season, because Slime is not fun to watch episode by episode. It's better to watch all in one go. Spirited, what happened to ReZero? Still feeling bad for that situation in season 3. It's currently airing right now. I haven't really kept up to date on ReZero. I just haven't been as interested in watching it. I might get back into it. They even call him Mama Mary Sue too. Yeah, that's the thing. I hate how the left is trying to hijack it. And yeah, Tony, they are. They are. It generally irritates me because it's just the thing that frustrates me, is that they're trying to hijack it. Because it's a strong female protagonist, it has to be feminist. And it's like, yeah, no, you clearly haven't watched Apothecary Diary. You haven't read I've been reading a bit of the light novels. And it's just, yeah. It's like, it's so obvious that they're being disingenuous. Slime has meeting episodes like Torture. Yeah. Actually, this season's been really good, actually, as far as the meeting episodes go, right? Most of it's pretty much minimal to none. So I think this season's been really good as far as pacing goes. They've actually done a good job. No, it has been Lesbo. You mean Apothecary Diary? If you think Apothecary Diary's a Lesbo story, I got some bad news for you for the story to come. Got some bad news for you. Because it ain't going down that path. Hey, Draconic. But I have been keeping mostly up to date on, yeah. It's just funny because a lot of people that think like Mao Mao is like some lesbian, I'm like, yeah, no, I got some bad news for you. Yeah, just wait for next season. I don't know if it'll be this season or the season after. I'm waiting for the Trapped in the Dating Sim. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Aha, not lesbo. I meant feminist. Want a female protagonist to be... Oh! Okay, I get what you mean now. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they do. They really want her to be... They want Mao Mao to be some lesbo. Which is why they're going to be pissed when the future seasons come out and it happens. Like, if you know the story, if you've read the light novels and you know the story for Apothecary Diary, then you know where the story's going to go. So you know these feminists are going to lose their shit when they find out that, yeah, Mao Mao and... Spoilers, obviously, Jinshi, that ship is sailing. That ship is sailing. What's your take on Japanese Article 175 issue? I'd have to research it more. I don't know enough about it right now. I have seen some people talk about it. I think there might be... I think it might be on free for Apothecary. I'm not sure what that means. What's your anime hot take? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I mean, I could make a separate video one day. My anime hot takes. Thank you, Sledge, for the $10 super chat. I hate Yuri fans that want every showman and straight romance to be Yuri by they never watch or buy Yuri. Yep. Look at the Nikkei community. It's slowly getting hijacked by Yuri obsessive fans. And they keep trying to force their Yuri headcanon. And they get angry that the story is about a straight man wanting to or banging a bunch of robot chicks. Is Licorice Recall getting a season 2? That's a good question, actually. It's TBA. So it probably is. It probably is. I remembered this, but I just couldn't remember what it was. Oh man, stop selling me on it. I want to play it more. Oh, Nikkei. I love Nikkei. I mean, it's such a good free-to-play game, right? You don't have to spend much time doing the dailies and stuff. The story is really good. The story is phenomenal. But I mean, all the chicks are pretty good. They're all adorable. They actually put depth behind the characters. I generally love the fact that, I mean, the new event that just happened, or that just finished, is about one of the singers from the TT Stars, which actually is funny because we're going through like a 3-phase event story where we're getting like an event for each of the girls and we're being able to roll for them all. But in the one for Mint, there's like this whole thing where Mint just basically wants to fuck the main protagonist. Like, she just outright wants to do it. She's just like, yeah, I want to bang him. It pissed off the Yuri fans because the Yuri fans were like, oh yeah, like this isn't gonna be, and then it's just like literally the story is like she just wants to bang him, and they all just lose their marbles. They're like, this is cringe. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. You pulling for Mint and Preca? I've actually got Mint. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. I'll boot up Nikkei and we'll roll for a Preca before I finish stream. We'll see if I can get... Technically, I could just buy Preca because I've got enough tickets for her. But we'll do some rolls for fun. But yeah, I love the story for Nikkei. It's such a good story. I'll have to change the settings so it's full screen. I'll put it on full screen and then I'll bring it back up. Let's go settings. Graphics, full screen, save, beautiful. Alright.
Outshine the stars, outrun the light.
Boobies. Alright. Because I've already got all the other chicks. Let's do this. Is this the anime apocalypse? I mean, yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Already? What am I getting?
Soldier.
I'll be right by your side again, looking after you so you don't get worn out, Commander.
Alright, I'll take her anyway.
On him.
Slightly disappointed, but you know what? We'll take it. YouTube might pull age restriction. I've had no problems so far. Alright. Nikkei is good, but Brown Dust is... Yeah. Holy moly. Tony's realizing this game might be for him. Disappointed. I mean, this game just doesn't like me. These are the girls I look forward to. If I can get a good roll... Excuse me. Why am I getting nothing good? I mean, these are the events so far, right? So you got Precure. You've got Mint that just happened. I already got Mint. We just had the not Nikkei event, the Stellar Blade event. So the Stellar Blade and Nikkei did a collaboration, so we just got her. And we also got Eve as well. I already got all of them. And then that's just my general role. But if you want to look at like all the cute hot girls, because we just had a niece event, and I got the skin for it. So that's the skin for her. That's probably my best unit. But yeah. Alright. I'm determined. We're doing it again. Come on. Alright, right off the bat. Tetra? I think Tetra's hers.
Hello, we're the two shining stars, Twinkle Twin Star. I'm Prika.
There we go. We got Precure.
Nice.
That's what I like to see. Show us the characters with the biggest asses. I don't know. I guess. I can't leave that up for too long, okay? I don't want to lose my channel. There's some good characters in here. I don't know if I should roll for it again, just for the lols. Nice. I don't know, okay. Yeah. Alright, let's do one more for fun. Screw you.
Soldier F.
This shot will make...
Nice to meet you.
Hello, we're the two shining stars, Twinkle Twin Star. I'm Prika.
I bet you spent a fair bit on Nikkei. There's a little bit. Do you spend any money on Nikkei? I only get the seasonal passes. That's really about it. Which just comes with the skin and all the extra pulls and stuff. Thank you for the Platinum membership, Siege. Remember to check out the link to the Discord server so you can get access to it, and make sure you link up your YouTube with Discord so that you can get access to it through the rank rolls. Don't worry, I don't find out any personal information on your YouTube, and neither does Discord. It just allows for you to have access to the Discord server, so remember to link that up. But yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of characters. I don't have them all linked up and everything, so I've got them all maxed out level, but I've got a lot of the characters. I mean, I just got Eve right there. God, that looks good.
Why do I work as hard as I do? Perhaps because I believe it's the right thing to do?
My cat has been annoying, and I can hear her slamming her foot on the ground, and I keep thinking it's someone outside. How do you grind so many gems? By doing everything in the game. I kind of did spend a fair bit there. I spent just almost about 20k. But I don't buy any gems. Just to be very clear, I don't buy any gems. I just farm them out. But yeah, it's mostly just consistency. Yeah, I just do all the events, make sure I farm everything out, and all that kind of stuff. And as time goes on, yeah, you get all the gems. I mean, every time you get these levels, if I can even get a level on that, you get an extra 30. It all adds up, right? If say, for example, you get 30 gems every time you get a level, you get 10 levels, that's 300. And it's not hard to get a level per day. I could almost get like a level and a bit per day. So within a week, I could easily have 10 levels, which is an extra 300. So for just little things like that, you can get your gems up pretty quickly. Which one's the cutest to me? I mostly go for meta right now, because these are like really good units, so they generally carry me. And I just kind of worked on Nia, because it was kind of cool. But as far as cuteness goes, I don't know. I think she's adorable, though.
You can tell me anything. After all, you and I are friends, aren't we?
But she has two different versions. I don't know if I have her other version. I have to check. There she is. There's her other version.
I don't care if you're my commander. I won't let you make fun of me and call me a crybaby. What am I good at? Killing? Can you teach me how to make friends?
She was one of my first units that I leveled up. Because she was the one that I got first. Not because of the booze. But I'm trying to max her out, because I want to get her, her treasure, because she's really powerful.
Would you like to join my organization? You're always welcome.
I do kind of like her, though. She's cute.
I feel more at ease with you by my side. Don't get his outfit is hardly what I'd call efficient. But I'm glad that you seem to have taken a liking to it.
Have you seen Engage Keys? You have. What you did think? I can't remember. I don't think so. That one Massey. I'm selling the game to Tony apparently because he's like getting more interested in it. It's a good story. Like, it's not just like hot women, but the story is really good. The events are really good. The game's very generous. The events, they give you heaps of fun stuff. Like, farming gems isn't really that hard. That's why I'm like, as long as you do all the events and everything, you'll have plenty of gems. Do the story, do the hard modes, all that kind of stuff. You'll farm gems pretty quickly. But yeah. We've been at for 2.5 hours. We've been gone for a bit. You gotta watch it. I might. But again, thank you, Siege, for the platinum membership. I just, yeah, remember to check out the Discord server. I always like to remind people, because sometimes people don't remember that there's a link to the Discord server, so you can get access to it. It's a very active server, by the way. It's kind of funny, because I was just telling a VTuber about it, because she was whining about her Discord server being a little bit weird at times. And I was like, oh yeah, mine's membership only. And she's like, wait, people pay to get on your Discord server? I was like, yeah. I'm like, it's more active that way. Like, it's generally more active. When I used to have my old Discord server, it used to be public access. The server died within like months. Ever since I made it Patreon and membership only, or YouTube membership and Patreon only, it's been way more active. Like, there's less drama, less bots, less spam, less drama. Like, it's just overall better experience. Just way better experience. And yeah, it kind of, you know, it sucks that you got to put it behind a paywall, but it's like, it filters out all the problems straight away. It's amazing. I've never had to deal with a drama. And if there's ever any fights in it, they just work them out themselves. So, it works out great. Feminist Kalama, do not come, do not come. But yeah, as far as streaming goes, I won't be streaming this weekend because I'm going to a convention on Saturday. I won't be going to the convention Sunday, but I'll be going Saturday. So if I buy anything, I will show it off on stream next time I stream. So I'll do that. Does anyone members Kung Fu Series? Oh, yeah, Kung Fu Series. Holy Jesus. Thank you for the $50 super chat. You just joined as a member. You joined the super chat. Thank you, Sledge. Much appreciated. I just remembered a video called "Do Isekais Actually Need to Be Isekai?" Bro made no sense probably, and this other called the anime slavery problem. I think I've heard of the anime slavery problem. And I think I debunked it because I think one of it was about Shield Hero. I think one of it was about Shield Hero. But I am kind of curious. There is one video they still have yet to actually cover. I'll just quickly just change this before, because I'm gonna have to do it next stream.
Get ready for Max Fire.
Thank you for that. Max Firepower. Let me check. I've still got it on another tab. I just have not played it yet. I need to get off my ass. I still need to go through this video. I will probably save that for next stream, actually. If I don't know why it wasn't on the right tab. Let me put it on the tab. I'll put that there, and I'll put it on the tab.
If you've been watching...
And I will watch that next stream. Because I've been meaning to watch it for a while, actually. And I haven't got to it yet, which is Anime Has a Christian Tourist Problem. And again, thank you for another $2 super chat. You can call me Sled, like Santa Sled. Ah, Sled. Okay, yep. I just read it as like Sledge. But yeah, I'll call you Sled. That works much more easier. Much appreciated. Again, thank you for the super chat and the membership. You are a true legend for the channel. The first season of Shield Hero is one of the best isekais, and then the author ruined the revenge story. I think the problem is a lot of people wanted the revenge story to last longer, but the thing is that with the Shield Hero, the revenge story hasn't finished yet, right? That she's still out there and she's still a pain in the butt. You know what? Close enough. But yeah, I do want to go through this video. I should have written Slay. Cool, Slay. Episodes 1 through 20 were peak. I mean, Shield Hero I really did enjoy. The issue with the Shield Hero is that the light novels kind of get very repetitive. And that happens much more later on in the light novels, which I think the anime is going to start getting up to. But a lot of the criticisms for Shield Hero always just comes down to stuff that's just not factually correct, which just kind of disappoints me. But I do want to stream more often. I had debated about putting like a proper schedule and everything, but I hadn't kind of worked that out yet because I've still got to get this room sorted out. So at some point, once this room's sorted out, I might look at a more permanent schedule for streaming. I at least want to do like a permanent 1 to 2 days a week streaming, right? Just at least have like 2 days a week where I specifically stream and will always stream. But I will work out a more solid streaming schedule once I've sorted out this room, because in the next week or so I'll end up getting the furniture moved in here, and then I'll be able to start setting things up. Season 2 and 3 of Shield Hero had many problems, not gonna lie. Yeah, it had problems, especially the first half of Season 2. All those JRPGs where the church is the villain, isn't it? Yeah, there are a lot like that. But I didn't want to do a schedule for streaming yet because I wasn't really sure if I could stick to it while everything's going on. Because I did end up getting some security upgrades to the house because of all the threats to my life that I had due to the Chibi video. I had Kiwi Farms coming after me, I had Simon coming after, which was why I was going to watch this video, because this video was going over Simon, which, you know what, before we end stream, we'll go over it.
This is great. You guys want to see like more people? You guys want to see more people mad at me? I see it popping up in my feed because like I'm on, I have my regular feed on like my other monitor, and I can see it like just flashing over and over again from people posting. Oh, I gotta reply to that. That's too funny, dude. I gotta reply to that. Let's see. Real art certainly doesn't look that much less real than the above, and that's fine. Everyone has their own level of art, but don't piss on someone else's hard work.
This guy, by the way, Simon, literally stalks me. This guy right here, just above Leaflet's head, stalks me.
Pretend you're so much better. Why not make something with the time it took, just like Leaf did? Yup. Leaflet on her main villain arc is true. Both are unsettling pictures. Yeah, man. Dude, this pick it up Quango, dude. Who started this shit, man? Who started this fucking shit? Decide to read all that. That's a lot of words. All that just because he said you can't draw. What a baby. No, that's not what happened, but okay. People who feel the job might be being threatened by AI might just not be that good in the first. This is true. This is so true, by the way. A lot of the people I know that are like really.
I was trying to see what Simon was saying, but I guess actually it doesn't have anything.
You know, some people I can see the logic behind it. It's no shame in receiving help if you can make the most of it. Exactly, Talbor. Exactly. That's how I feel too, man.
Nice slop here. Some real art made by a real person. Okay, so Simon was taking a jab at her because of the thing. Oh, I was trying to see what this, because I knew this was about Simon. So this guy here, Simon, he's basically a guy that stalks me, Rev, and Chibi. And the reason why he started stalking me and harassing me is because I criticized him a long time ago for trying to control people for who they follow and how we interact. And I basically called him out on it, and he went completely psychotic and basically just started attacking me, lying about me, stalking me. And it was just kind of really funny because the last time he tweeted about me, I replied to the tweet, right? And then he goes on about how I'm obsessed about him. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not the one that talks about me all the time, right? He talks about me non-stop. And I basically just replied, Riff, and I said, bro, do you love me more than your girlfriend? And so he took a photo of him kissing his girlfriend while they both had a middle finger pointed at the camera. And when I saw it, because someone showed it to me, and I was like, I said to him, I was like, bro, you know how creepy that is? And they're like, why? And I'm like, because the fact is he's only kissing his girlfriend to try and get back at me because I said that he's more in love with me than her. But here's the thing. While he was kissing her, he was thinking about me, because that was the whole point of the photo, was to get back at me. So he only kissed her because of me, and he was thinking about me while he was kissing her, and she was thinking about me while she was kissing him. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, you know how creepy that is? That they're both thinking about me while they're kissing each other, having a finger pointed at me. And it's like, bro, you kind of proved my point. You're so much in love with me that you had to think that you had to kiss your girlfriend to prove a point to me while thinking. I'm like, I don't think this is the W you think it is. Because that's the basics of it. The only reason why he kissed her in that photo is to get back at me. So while he's doing it, he's thinking, oh yeah, I'm getting back at him. Smooch, smooch, my babe, we're getting back at him. You're thinking about me while you're kissing. It's like, bro, what? That's the worst own. That's not how you own me. All it proved was the exact point. And apparently he got suspended off of X because he posted over 100 times in a day. And then his excuse was, I was on holidays. If I was on holidays, I wouldn't be on bloody X and posting more. Yeah, he did outed himself as... I'm like, that's why when I saw the leaflet video, I was kind of curious what it was about. Because he gets into arguments all the time, right? And at one point, he put me on a tier list. This was when I actually knew that Rev didn't like me, because there was a tier list that was made, and it was me, Rev, Chibi, and someone else. And Rev covered it in a video, but Rev wouldn't say my name in the video. He said everyone else's name except mine. And I was like, Rev, do you really dislike me that much that you don't want to acknowledge me? The one person that did acknowledge me was, I forgot his name now. The reaction streamer. One that calls everyone monkeys. Kaka. He covered it, and he actually says my name in it, and that's where he calls it the Four Horsemen. So I was really puzzled because Rev covered that drama, but he wouldn't say my name, but Kaka did, and I'm like, well, me and Kaka are we're on good terms, so... So it was a really funny drama because I was put on that tier list. And then Simon got so upset that he tried to get Mother's Basement to come after me. And Mother's Basement whinged about my thumbnail, saying that I stole his thumbnail design. And I'm just like, bro, you don't own the thumbnail design. So he then ended up getting butthurt about that. And nothing went through it. And I was just like, okay, you've been stalking me non-stop and you've done nothing about it. But because of it, a bunch of people have been sending me threats of life, so I kind of had to take it a little bit more serious and try and put some things into place that make sure that, you know, I have some security measures in place. Because, yeah, between him and Kiwi Farms and all the rest, yes, they say my name, yeah. So that's when I realized that Rev didn't like me. Because in that video, he wouldn't say my name. He wouldn't say it. So I was like, okay... Rev doesn't like me. But the funny thing is, he was following me at the time. He followed me. So he followed me, but he didn't want to say my name in the video. And I'm like, is it because I'm a gooner? A self-proclaimed gooner? Like, okay, if I'm a gooner and you don't want to say my name, okay, then why do you follow me? Bro was fake butthurt to get your attention. That's creepy and nuts. It is. That's why I told my friend. I'm like, think about it this way. He kissed his girlfriend while thinking about me. And the dude's like, actually, when you think about it, that is kind of weird. I'm like, yes. Who does that? Oh, you got to get your broomstick just in case. So, I'm just, yeah. I just thought it was funny. So when I saw Leaflet covering it, I was like, I wonder what drama she's stuck with him. And to be completely honest, Leaflet could probably afford to pay someone to actually commission them to make stuff. So I do kind of find that funny. And apparently no one really buys his book, and it's like really edgy and shit. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't care to read it. But I've not heard anything that particularly interesting. Something you want to tell us about you and Simon? No. I try to avoid the dude as much as possible. It's just people send me screenshots of him talking about me, and I'm just like, I get that trigger happy where I'm like, oh, I gotta reply to it. It's like Don. Don talks about me all the time as well, and him and Don have become best friends, but Don's now getting dogpiled by a bunch of female VTubers for running some weird, like, stalking server. Did he actually kiss his girlfriend thinking about you? That's... Yes! Because he made a tweet obsessing about me and calling me a loser and all the rest. And I'm like, bro, you talk about me so much. I think you love your girlfriend more than me. So then he made a follow-up tweet kissing her while both of them have got a middle finger. And I'm like sitting there thinking, like I said, while he was taking that photo, he was thinking about me because the whole purpose of the photo was to get back at me. Which means he only kissed her because of me, which means he was thinking about me. It's weird, and so was she. It's like, why? You don't take a photo of yourself kissing someone as a gotcha at the person, because you're self-admitting that you were thinking about the person that you're trying to get back at. It's not clever. It's like admitting to a crime. I think he's secretly gay for you. Well, I don't float that way. I like women. I mean, I played Nikkei. I like women. So I'm sorry. He can have his relationship. I bet he's trying to get to... The funny thing is, he whines in my comment sections all the time, but because he's blocked, no one sees them. I just generally ignore him for the most part, but occasionally I see him on the internet and I just get a good giggle out of it. And I think it upsets him because I generally am not bothered by him. Like, what's he gonna do? Whinge about me? Oh no, the travesty. Oh no, his fans are gonna block me. Oh, I'm gonna lose sleep at night. Oh, oh no. How am I gonna sleep at night? That this weird creepy dude that thinks about me while kissing his girlfriend is gonna whine about me again on it. Honestly, I wish he would keep doing that. I wish he would make another tier list. You know how many followers I got from that? Shit ton. Do it again, Simon. Make another tier list. Keep going. Only benefits me. It tells... Hey babe, can you talk like a Spiritu, that Aussie accent? Yeah, mate. Oh, how are you going? You committed the ultimate sin of being a heterosexual mate. Exactly. I have sinned. I have sinned heavily, Father, for I am straight. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know how I keep my sanity sometimes. Oh. I just want to check something. Okay. I was just thinking if who I thought was streaming, I might have rated her, but she's not streaming, which was Pippi. She's a really sweet, cute girl, actually. But she's not streaming right now, so I can't raid her. This time I came... Well, I'm almost actually finished stream, so... you'll be able to watch the backlog. But, like I said, I do want to stream more. I want to set up a schedule. I want to try and set it up for at least 2 times a week. Set up something more permanent. But I'm just trying to sort everything out. Because I got heavily side distracted. So, I've been trying to clean out the spare room. Because I've got the other computer desk in the spare room that I want in here. The problem is as I've been cleaning it out... I've been basically sorting through it and I've been like, okay, well, where do I put all this stuff? And I'm like, okay, well, I'll put it in the cupboard, but I'm like, I have to clean the cupboard. And then I have to clean the shed so I can move this desk in there. So it's like, rather than just throwing stuff in a corner and just being like, okay, I'll deal with it later, I'm cleaning everything properly, which is taking me longer than I anticipated because I want to make sure I clean everything correctly the first time. And the other issue, though, is I'm going through paperwork in the spare room that's like all my mother's stuff. So it's like bills, taxes, insurance paperwork, just for that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of it, right? There's like 20 years worth. Oh! Speak of someone. He hasn't been cleaning it out. He rearranged it, homie. Homie is doing real life Tetris. Wait, me doing real life Tetris? I mean, honestly, it does feel like that when it comes to my room. But yeah, because everything's in that room, it's just, yeah, it is like real life Tetris. I'm trying to like move everything around and I'm trying to put everything in one of the cupboards, which has turned into Tetris actually. Because I had like suitcases lined up and all that kind of outfit stuff in there. So I've been slowly cleaning that room, but then I've also been going through like a lot of other stuff. Like there's like suitcases. And in one of the suitcases was like all my old mother's study stuff from like 25 years ago. And it was just weird because it was like diary stuff in there and all that. And she's got like all the diaries. And I was like, you know what? I was kind of curious. I was reading through some of the diaries. It gets pretty heavy. So I was like, okay, this is a bit of an emotional roller coaster to go through. So the end of the day, it's my stuff now. So I get to read through all the diary stuff. But it was definitely an interesting read. But not something I will repeat on stream anytime soon. Just because it's very heavy topics. Some very heavy shit. So, cleaning that room out, cleaning all the other stuff out, then with the security upgrades to the house, which if you actually pay attention to this room, you'll actually know what the security upgrades are, but no one's noticed yet. I'll give a hint. That I got a bunch of those in different rooms. I got roller shutters, so I got some stuff installed just to kind of add some more security to the windows, just in case someone wants to try and break in. So got those done. An invisible Rottweiler. Now that's my cat, but she's too much of a softie. Though my next door neighbors do have a Rottweiler. So, but that one's harmless. It's got like one eye. It's a harmless dog, so why are you fingering the wall? Because I'm pointing at it. That there. It's the roller shutter thing. It's a remote. See? Do you play any multiplayer games? Not anymore. I was playing World of Warcraft for a couple of months, but then I quit because I got bored of it. I don't really play too many multiplayer games anymore just because, I mean, back in the old days, I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, and I played a little bit of Final Fantasy and stuff, but I don't like schedules. You know my IP. Wish. Nah. It's just the remote to the thing itself, so. I can see it. Yeah, I saw it before you pointed it. Yeah, I mean, some people noticed it. That's why it's like, yeah. But yeah, I mostly play single player games, just because I'm not really as into multiplayer games like I used to. I think a lot of it just comes down to I used to do a lot of raiding back in my old days in World of Warcraft, and I got sick of the scheduling. I got sick of having to be online and be there, and it just also the fact that I used to have to carry a lot of my raid members all the time, because every week someone would screw something up, someone would need to be carried, someone wouldn't sort things out. So I got to a point where I kind of grew to hate playing MMOs because of that very factor. It felt too much of a schedule. Every expansion, they kept changing the classes. I hated the fact that my Enhancement Shaman changed every goddamn fucking expansion. The fact that they screwed over Shadow Priest, and so I just kind of quit. Plus, one of my old raid leaders from a different guild, he told me to quit the game and do YouTube. Which is a true story, by the way. When I decided to do YouTube, I was talking to him about it, and he said, quit World of Warcraft and go full-time YouTube. And I was like, okay. So he's like, yeah, quit the game. And he said, in a year's time, if you're still doing YouTube, he would buy me YouTube equipment. So surprise, surprise, a year went by and I was still doing YouTube. I was sticking Rivet. And so he ended up buying me my phone, which I've got here still. This has lasted me 8 years. And this. Bought me this. Along with all the setup. So he was a man of his word. I stuck with it for a year. And he bought me all the equipment. So me and him were still good friends. I talk to him from time to time. He's from New Zealand. So but yeah, he's the GOAT. I love him. He's a great friend. I stick by him. But as far as games go, I mean, most of the games that I play, I generally like play my Switch a bit. Like I like playing my Zelda games, Xenoblade games, Fire Emblem. I'm looking for the new Fire Emblem game. As far as games that I play on PC though, I play Warhammer, Total War Warhammer, right? But I haven't really been playing that a lot lately. Mainly just because I just haven't. But one of the games that I play a lot of is Stellaris. I play a fuck ton of Stellaris. I got like over 2,000 hours on Stellaris. So that's the single player game that I play a lot of, because I love space games and I love Stellaris because it's that sense of exploration and stuff. But I'm not opposed to playing multiplayer games. Like if there's, I play Path of Exile, Path of Exile 2, Last Epoch, Factorio, Stellaris, stuff like that. Total War Warhammer. I do like playing a lot of old school Age of Empires and stuff like that. I did just replay Half-Life just for the lols. Just try to think of other games that I've played. At one point I did play a lot of Valheim, but surprisingly I don't play as much games as I like to. Mainly also because I've got a lot of games that I still have to complete on my Switch. And because it's on the Switch, it generally requires me to have it on me, and I'm watching anime and doing other stuff, so... And because I'm compulsively on bloody X all day, I really need to get off of that app sometimes, because that's the thing that distracts me the most. But yeah, you should check out Hellraiser's developer diary. They got the original voice. I've seen a lot of people play the Helldivers, Hellrise, whatever you call it. That looks kind of cool. But yeah, I'm waiting for the new DLC for Stellaris to come out, and then I'm gonna play that. when it comes out. So that's what I'm waiting for, but that comes out next month. So that's why I haven't really done too much with gaming, because I'm just going to wait for that DLC to come out and then I'll get it. I mean, I've debated on streaming while playing games, but the reason why I don't really care to stream while playing games is because it's harder for me to interact with chat while I'm streaming and playing a game. Hellraiser is based on the 1980s movie, no connection to Helldivers. Okay, it's just names seem familiar to me. Have you played Code Vein? No. Are you still going to play Crimson Desert? I need to remember what Crimson Desert is. Oh, that. Maybe. Maybe not. There's too many other games that I gotta play. Gamer hours. I mean, I'm not opposed to doing gaming, right? I'm not opposed to doing gaming on stream. I'm just not the biggest person of it, right? Homie, I've been playing TCG Card Shop Simulator, and as someone who doesn't play simulators, it's absolutely addicting. I want to recommend it while also saying never touch it. That sounds like a gamer right there, yeah. I mean, yeah, I need to get back into doing some more gaming stuff. I've just been so side distracted with everything else. But I need to finish playing all my Switch games, because I need to finish off Tears of the Kingdom. I need to finish off... I actually need to start playing and finishing the other Zelda game that I got. I need to finish Xenoblade 3, which I hadn't even started. I need to finish and start again Triad... I forget what it is. But there's a bunch of Switch games that I've got that I haven't finished. And then as far as PC games go, I don't know, I keep getting side distracted and just playing more Stellaris. Because I just like playing Stellaris a lot. But I keep buying a lot of indie games as well. I bought Ball Pit because Asmongold was playing it and I wanted to try it out. I played that quite a lot for a while. Death Must Die, that's another one that Asmongold got that I played. I played a lot of Path of Exiles. Trying to think of the other one. Oh, what was the other game I got that I played a lot of? Valheim was another one. I'm trying to remember what it's called. But it's like a Diablo style graphics one. It's like Death Must Die, but it's a different art style. Halls of Torment, that's what it's called. Stellaris is... I love Stellaris. I always wait for DLCs to come out, and then I play a bunch of it. And because the new DLC is coming out, I'm looking forward to playing Stellaris. It's just the one game that I always go back to that I love playing, because they always do some really cool stuff. Though, again, I do like to whinge about their DLCs, because their DLCs suck balls sometimes with the lack of content they add. And God, there's so many things that I want them to fix on Stellaris that they never do. Play and stream BA if you're interested in visual novels. Is that Blue Archive? Because I know so many of you want me to play Blue Archive. But I'm not really a big visual novel person. The only reason why I played Nikkei is because it's almost fully voice acted. I'm too lazy to read. But I love my space games. I do. I love my space games. Whenever you can get a good space game, I get hooked on it. Because I remember I played a bit of Master Orion, but I hated the newer Master Orion, but the older Master Orion was really good. Like, old school Master Orion was generally good. New one sucked balls. They never did anything of it, and then they dropped it like a hot potato. Readings for suckers. Exactly. I'm too lazy to read. That's why whenever I read light novels, I cheat. I'm not gonna say how I cheat, but I cheat. I told another content creator how I cheat when it comes to reading light novels, and their reply was, "You're a genius." Like, it's a genius move. It's so lazy. It's how I get through light novels so quickly. But I can't tell people my secret for reasons. How do you cheat? I don't know if I should say it on stream. I don't know. I don't know if I should say it on stream. Okay. I do buy the physicals. But. Nah, I can't. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get slapped on the wrist. No, that kind of gives a hint now. DM. I could DM it to you afterwards, but it's like, yeah. I may have worked it out. Yeah, Renee, if you're smart enough, you know how I do it then. I'm very cheeky. I'm very cheeky. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get in. It's not like I probably won't get in trouble, but I'm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm very cheeky. It's a very efficient way of consuming light novels. I use that word very specifically. Consume. But yeah. We've been going for 3 hours. I know I'm kind of dribbling. I'm like getting to the point where I'm like, do I check Twitter? Do I check Twitter? I know I've got like 50 notifications on there right now. It's text-to-speech, isn't it? If you get the right voice, right speed, it's beautiful. Why read when it can be read to you? I get the perfect voice on it. I can't remember what the voice is called on it, but it's a specific accent. It's a male accent. It's very specific. And because of it, you can run it on 2 times speed, and it's perfect. It's not that it sounds good. It's just easy to understand. So it's clear and concise. So you can put it on a higher speed, and then what I do is I just sit there and play a video game. So for example, I'll just play Stellaris for fucking hundreds of hours while I'm listening to while I'm listening to light novels. Hey man, no judging. I use it for college textbooks. Yeah, well, I was like, I couldn't be fucked reading. I was like, I ain't got no time for that. So I was like, all right, well, this is how I'm gonna play games, and I get to listen to the light novel. But I still buy the physicals. To be very clear, I still buy the physicals. I'll order them online, have them shipped, and then run it through text-to-speech. Because I'm just like that. I don't know what the accent is. I have to download a special pack off of Microsoft. Let me have a look. Alright, what accent is it? I don't even know how to bloody change the accent. No, I don't want to read it. It's Sean Connery. I wish. Oh, trying to... How do you change the goddamn bloody maybe I actually have to start playing it. They keep changing the bloody... It takes a while to load. I just want to see what the accent is before I finish stream, because I am kind of curious what it's called. It's not an Indian accent, that's for sure. I think it's an American accent, or it might be UK. It's either American or UK. Read it in Nigerian accent. God, no. I'm waiting for it to try and play it so then I can pause it so that I can go to voice options so I can try and check the bloody voice language. If it's UK, it's definitely David. I do remember reading that one. I'm not sure if it does. Yes, American or UK, such similar accents so oftenly mixed up. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Americans and UK sound so similar. You know how many times, Leon, I get mistaken as a British? And they're going, oh, you got a British accent. No, I don't sound like a fucking twat. I was going to say another word, but I can't say that on YouTube. I don't sound like a twat. I'm an Australian, mate. Australian. Not British. I don't like my tea and biscuits. My tea and biscuits. Fucking UK. We don't have a stroke when we get one slightly warm day of a year, right? God, British people are such babies. They're like, they get one 20 degrees day and they're like, oh my god, it's so hot, I'm gonna melt, it's 20 today. It's like, we get like 44 out here. Pussies? Brits and UK are much closer than... Oh, I think it just worked. No? Okay. The accent is... Yeah, it's United Kingdom. It's... I'll take a screen. No, that's not what I wanted to do. That's the accent. I think that's the right one. I think. I can't remember. What? I tried to play it, but it won't load. I think that's the one. I think it's UK. Yeah, Curse Windows 11. Yeah. Well, the problem was Windows 11 kept deleting it. So I've had so much trouble trying to get the right voice again. Because every accent sucks balls. Every accent sucks. And you don't want it to sound Australian either. God, the Australian Windows 11 accent is so stereotypical. It sounds like they hired an American to try and sound like an Australian. It's so stereotypical. And the Indian ones are just like horrible to listen to. Like, it drove me up a wall. It takes 10 Just two of the country. I mean, UK is a pretty small country. Aussie accents are so bog standard. Oh, they're just horrible to listen to. Like they're not Aussie accent. They're like a stereotypical. Would you rather have a hot British woman talk to you or an Australian? I'd just be happy with a hot woman talking to me. I'm not picky. I'll take anything at this point, as long as she's not a bitch. I'll take anything. A reminder that the Indians that are handling Windia. That's why it's bugged. Doesn't bloody work properly. I want the days of Windows XP back, where everything was somewhat functional and not broken. Hot women talking to you. Best we get something. I'm gonna hit you with this. I'm gonna hit you with this, Tony. I'm gonna hit you with this. I do not float that way. I'm not interested in mentally deranged men that are wanting to do weird things to me. Is anyone switching to Linux? Some people are switching to Linux, but I'm just like, I've got everything set up on Windows, so I don't really want to change it. If you want hot women, shave the damn beard, mate. You know what happened the last time I shaved my beard? A chick said that I looked hotter with the beard. I get rid of the beard, chicks whinge. It feels like the guys are the ones telling me to get rid of the beard, and the chicks are the ones telling me to keep the beard. I'm sorry, I have to please the chicks, not the dudes. Fine, then I'll go down. But which accent would you find more appealing? A British woman or an Australian? I don't know. British women can sound hot if they're hot. Right? I've seen ugly British women talk and it's horrible. And then I've seen hot British women talk. Still reminds me that one time I passed out at the hospital and it was like some British woman came to like help me. Fuck, she was hot. Shit, she was hot. Beard needs to be shaped up, but keep it. Okay, yeah. I do need to get a new shaver so I can actually fix it and actually clean it up where it needs to be cleaned. Because yeah, when you look at like this, yeah, you can see there's like pockets there. So I mean, I'll clean it up this weekend anyway before I go out. But yeah, I mean, it needs to be fixed up. I need to get a new shaver. But yeah, you do have a point there, Leon. It needs to be shaped up. It's mainly because the beard will grow in weird ways. It's never consistent. It's just like... Without the beard, you look like a kid. Exactly! I don't need to look like a bloody 12-year-old. I have enough problems as it is, women thinking I'm bloody half my age. Most people don't even guess my age properly because they think I'm way younger than what I am. I don't even think even Leon has any idea how old I am. He might. By the way, there's a YouTuber you could raid that will start streaming in 10 minutes if you're still looking to raid people. I know you're 40, jeez. I swear. I'd wager 35. Okay, Leon, you're actually pretty close. 36. I mean, there's nothing wrong with looking young. The problem is when you're 36 and you're trying to find a partner and it's just like, I mean, yeah, I could probably go for a younger chick, probably maybe like, I don't know, 25, and it would seem normal based on looks, but it's just like, it just makes it hard. It just makes it harder. If you kind of get where I'm coming at there. Bro, save it for the ring. This weekend we will do... I say age 37. I mean, do I look 37? Meanwhile, I'm 31 and my hairline is giving up on me. I mean, I'm going grey. My friend is going bald. So... But I only started going grey like a couple of years ago for obvious reasons. Always go for younger girls, more fertile, and haven't been indoctrinated beyond repair. That is true. That is true. If you ever find any young girls, Leon, that are interested, you know where to send me. I'm not batshit insane. I'm not gonna try and convert them into some weird wokeism bullshit. You'd think that, but they are nuts, and I'm 25. Women are nuts in general. Have you seen the VTuber community? You got me? Thank you. Thank you. I mean, if I can get a wife and a green card, I see that as a win-win. I'd rather go grey than bold. That's what I told my friend. Because it was like, oh, you're going grey. And I'm like, yeah, but I'd rather go grey than bold. I only started getting a couple of grey hairs. They haven't really accelerated. It only started like, I only started getting a couple of grey hairs 2 years ago. More. But then it slowed down again. And I think it was just due to the high stress. It kind of gave me a couple. But they've kind of slowed down now. What about AI girlfriend? It doesn't have the same experience. Doesn't have quite the same experience. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you'd rather have grey hairs than no hair. Honestly, I don't think I'd be able to cope with no hair. I don't want to turn into Asmongold. Because if you go bald in your 50s and 60s, it will be natural. I mean, if you're older, yeah. But if you're younger and you're going bald, then you've got some problems. Women nowadays are crazy. When I was 17, I knew a... Actually, fun story, actually. We'll go with a fun story. I was coming home from karate training on Tuesday night. And we're going to the service station to get Subway. Because it was an on the run, and we were going to get Subway. And I was ordering the Subway, and I was getting all the ingredients put on it, and my friend was looking out the window, and the dude making my Subway was looking out the window. And I turned to him, and I'm like, what's going on? And all I hear is, like, screaming. Apparently, there were two chicks in the petrol station car park stripping and running around. Apparently, they were quite young, so not of any interest. But... they were like stripping, and then they ran in, and then they went to the toilet. And then I was like, okay, this is fucking weird. Got my Subway, grabbed my drink, walked out, was about to head to my friend's car, and the car that they came from, some weird like chick was in there, wouldn't say she was goth or emo, but she was a little bit rough around the edges, was tapping on the screen, staring at me, like at the window, and I just looked at it. By the peripheral visions, I looked at it and went, nope, that looks like too much crazy for me, and I just kept walking straight. Just kept walking straight. That was a bag of crazy that I was not willing to deal with. From the north, the Mono area. I don't know, I'm already seeing signs of balding. On me? Or not? Because I generally, when you see that, I generally... But yeah, the chick was like tapping on her window because she was driving. And I just looked and went, yeah, no. You need a gamer girlfriend? I'll take an anime, a chick into anime or gaming, or one or the other, or both. I'm not picky. Not parking lot strippers. Yeah, I'm not dating any weird parking lot strippers. But yeah, that was my story for Tuesday. Some weird chick trying to get my attention. I just, yeah. And I think the two chicks that were stripping were underage. Not sure, but they looked quite young. But the other chick was older because she was the one driving. She didn't have any P plates. The best the internet can do is You know what single gamer girls are like to watch men playing games? I blame social media influencers. They influence these degenerates' behavior. I mean, Australian chicks can be quite weird. Take it from Australians. Australian chicks can be a kind of little bit... Depends on where you go, though. Aussie chicks are wild. Yeah. They can go from, like, really nice and tame and polite women to absolutely psychotically insane. There's, like, no in-between when it comes to Australian women. You don't get, like, a bunch of variations. It's either batshit fucking insane or really nice and sweet. And the really nice and sweet ones are generally married. Oh, yeah, already taken. Can someone rich send this man to UNC alert? What is UNC? Are you saying the US? Because I can afford to move to the US. At least your government is as corrupt as the Philippines. Yeah, true. I've seen weird stuff there. Dated an Aussie girl for a solid 7 to 8 years. She went from sweet to nuts. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. You just want a simple, nice girl, right? Simple, nice girl. But nope. Nope. Can't have that. There's a new gift system in stream, and one of them is UNC alert. Oh, you mean the little alerts? Yeah, I've been getting those all stream. I've had like a couple of them already. The gems that you send. Yeah, I've got a bunch. They're calling you an uncle. But I mean, funny enough, because I have male friends, all of us are having problems finding like girlfriends. It's not just like an isolated issue. It's like a multi-layer. There you go. UNC alert. Sent a UNC alert. I have no idea what that means, but interesting. Sent UNC alert for 440 joules. Thank you for the 440 joules. Is that what it means, uncle? A lot of women around my age like to virtual signal in the UK in like the left-wing area. Well, that's the problem. Like if you go into the city in Australia, a lot of the chicks are left-leaning, right, in the city. So the further out of the city you go, the less left-wing the chicks are. But the more bogany they are. So there's like a drawback on it. But the more you go into the city, the less bogan they are, but the more left they are. So you've got to try and find a balance between the two of finding a chick that doesn't look like a bogan, but isn't completely batshit left insane. That's a really hard balance to find when it comes to Australian women. And I find finding a chick that's into anime isn't insanely hard. It's finding a chick that's into anime that isn't batshit insane. That's the problem. I mean, the hard truth, Spiritu, is that if you don't believe it, then it's not going to happen. I'll believe in whatever gets me to the end goal. I'll pray to whatever God I need to. Oh yeah, nah, it's hard, guys. It is. It is hard in Australia, because it's that balance. And now you've got to also deal with the fact that because of all the immigration, you've got like all these other like Indian chicks and Muslims and all that. Not that you go anywhere near those, but yeah. I'd take an insane anime girlfriend better. I mean, I'm willing to deal with some crazy, but there are limits to the crazy, okay? What if I transitioned into a woman? Could you marry me? No. I'd rather date an older woman that seemed to have more of an open mind than women around my age. I mean, open to older women because I'm older, but yeah, good luck on that too. And most older women either already have kids, and I don't want to have to deal with that. I'm not dealing with someone else's kids. That's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm not taking care of someone else's kids. That was a long time ago. Say no. Just say no. I'm just reading it, thinking to myself, no. No. It was slow because I was just disappointed. Appreciate the suggestion, but I'm gonna have to decline. Most older women are either with kids or are crazy. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. You are not wrong on that. Very rarely do you find older women that sane but untapped. Yeah, and that's the problem. If you're going for older women, finding an older woman that is untapped and not insane is very difficult. Because generally, if she's not insane, she's probably already been in a relationship or already had kids. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with someone else's saved file. That's what my friends always refer to it as. It's like dealing with someone else's saved file. But there are some older women with no kids. But then you've got to ask yourself the question, yeah, why is that the case? Maybe they've had bad luck. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe. But you've got to be wondering. So. But I do like how we spent the last hour discussing about relationships and stuff. You know what? I'll give you all a running report next stream how Saturday goes if I find any attractive or interesting women at the convention, okay? Highly doubt anything will happen, but hey, you know what? I'll give you all a running report on it. Nothing will come through it, but we'll be more discussing about the copious amount of money I spent on anime figures. Maybe we could bring over all the British women over to Australia. I'm going to pull up an anime expo and find a VTuber girlfriend. I joked on X about finding a VTuber girlfriend. I was like, all right, you know what? I'll go out and try and find a VTuber girlfriend. And then I was like, expect a Google Doc on me within 6 to 12 months. The unfiltered truth for me. I'll report to... Yeah, I bet you will. You'll probably make some porcupines, you little shit. Also, Tony, I've got an injury. I got hurt on Tuesday because I was doing sparring at karate. And I was sparring a black belt. Actually, I sparred multiple black belts. But the last black belt I sparred, they backed me into a corner. And they got me right there. Fuck, it stings still. Stings. Got me real good. You're gonna fight Tony, so we got some popcorn. So I'm not fighting. I'm too injured, bro. I already hurt myself. Tuesday. You're gonna end up as a VTuber girl yourself, dating another VTuber as we know. It's kind of funny because there are actually some seem like some decently nice VTuber girls out there. But it's like one of those where it's like they all live in different countries. And it's like, well, that isn't really an issue, right? Because travel's not that hard. But it's like you're playing a really dangerous game pursuing VTubers as potential romantic partners. Like, you're playing a dangerous game of Russian roulette. Oh, my bleeding heart, let me pull out the violin. You better fucking... I got a violin in the other room. Both of us will all be... Yeah. Become a VTuber priest. Why? Why do I want to become a VTuber priest? But I mean, it sounds funny on paper. It's like, oh yeah, just like find like a VTuber girlfriend. It's the running joke that I think we've all been kind of running with. But it's just like, it is a Google Doc waiting to happen. I don't think I want to step on that landmine. I mean, if a VTuber was interested in me, sure, okay. But it's like you're treating content creation like a dating sim. I don't know if that's going to go particularly well. It sounds like a fun joke, but it sounds like a bad situation. What if you find women of your dream, but she wants you to cross-dress forever? Would you take it? At this point, Jake, I'll fucking take anything. Yes, become a VTuber priest because you don't want the VTubers need. Marry Smugglana. Candy. Can you give me some realistic goals here, bro? Give me some realistic goals. Hey man, I'm halfway to 30. I need that speed run. If the doc drops, I will say it's all lies, and slander. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad everyone's already preemptively prepared for the Google Doc and saying it's false. Clock's ticking. My clock is ticking. Would you even know the girl was a VTuber because they don't show their... I mean, it depends. That depends, Raven, because if I'm dating a VTuber that I meet as a VTuber and then meet in real life, that's the difference. We're not meeting a chick and then finding out she's a VTuber. No, it's the other way around. We meet a VTuber chick and then meet her in real life. Drama videos incoming from dating VTuber. Oh nah, man. I will say it's all true. Tony, you'd throw me under the bus. You'd probably bloody add your own Google Doc in there. Don't worry, we got you, bro. The Google Doc won't hurt you as long as we... I'll just do what Saikuna does. Yeah. I dated 10 VTubers. I banged them all. What are you gonna do? Just run with that. On the bright side, a Google Doc gives you content for months. It does too. Can make 6 videos out of it. And then finally come with an apology video, but then just not really be apologetic. How bad would a Google Doc be compared to your current harassment level? We already know you've been through the fire, so who cares? You know what? You got a valid point there. Based on all the threats and harassment that I get, what is a Google Doc at this point? You meet the VTuber in real life and she'd be looking like Gorlock the Destroyer. That'd be scary. The unicorns would be in shambles. I'd say, sorry, I'm going to the toilet, and I'd skedaddle. Exactly, just jump through a window. Run, bolt. Oh yeah, Amelia is streaming Raid Her. Who's that? I have no idea who that is. Is she Phase Connect? Or is it someone else? Well, she is streaming.
I kind of tried to find it.
Oh, dude, she has like 744 watching. Jesus Christ, she doesn't need my bloody help. Collect the harem. Oh no, these girls made a Google Doc about me smashing them, the horror. At least at that point, then I'd actually have something to actually brag about. Just checking some stuff. Yeah, nothing too interesting. You could also raid... I have no idea who these people are. There's no one that I know of that's streaming. I thought maybe Pippi would be streaming. I think that's how you say her channel name. I have to remember how you say it. I think. Yeah, it's Pippi. But she's not streaming right now. And I think her schedule is... Yeah, she streams Thursday and then Saturday. Based on my time zone, I'm on Thursday right now. So it would be Wednesday for her, so she wouldn't be streaming. So she'll be streaming tomorrow night. But yeah, again, I appreciate everyone dropping. I mean, I streamed way later because we're dribbling shit. It's all your fault, guys. It's all your fault. But next stream will be after Saturday for me, which will be... I don't know when that is, but it'll be after Saturday because I'm going to a convention Saturday, and I don't get home until late on Saturday because I'll probably go to the sushi train after the convention with my friend. And of course I'll be meeting Tony. So if you haven't realized, I will actually be meeting Tony on Saturday. So that is actually not a joke. We are actually going to see each other on Saturday. Carrot later, homie. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks, mate. Thanks for dropping by. And again, I'll have to message you at some point about doing something again. But yeah, I might stream Sunday, I might stream Monday. But we'll see. Because again, I don't stream on Tuesdays because of karate, so yeah. I'll message you anyway, Tony, later. So again, thank you everyone for dropping by. Thank you for all the donations and stuff. I know we were having a bit of fun just kicking the shit there and just dribbling some shit. So thank you again, and we'll watch the other video next stream, which is the Christian Grift one. So I'll see yous all.